check to make sure this is working. Yep, excellent connection. I think we're 5 seconds in. All right. Welcome back, everybody.
All right.
This is Mark 68 of the Super Civil Servants Podcast. My name is Greg, and I got something special to show y'all. I got in the mail today. Everybody check your cameras out.
Mm-hmm.
I got to figure out a way to put my name on my associate.
Very nice.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. I was waiting for it because I know Katie got hers, so I was like, oh, mine's got to be coming soon. And there was a little package in the mail today. I knew what it was as soon as I got it. And I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I think Katie got hers right a day after mine, so they've been mailed those out from HBO.
Okay. Well, it's funny because my wife didn't get hers. I mean, maybe it'll come.
It's coming.
Yeah. So, but yeah, got this. It's pretty awesome. I'm enjoying it. We got a show tonight, just like always. Friday night, we're going to hang out. I kind of got into a squirrel on the intro there.
Sure. Start the night strong.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We got most of the crew here tonight. I'm going to start us off with Nathan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm a little more tamed and sober than last week, so I should be a little more coherent and less making it about me and just bulldozing through everybody and just talking nonstop. So I'm hoping to be a little more quiet this week and still have as much fun.
Now, Nathan, you just lost us a whole bunch of listeners at that point.
I had a great time last week.
It was a fun time. Definitely was. And there you heard him, Chris. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Did you all enjoy those new lines Joss threw at us? The boys. The boys.
Oh. Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not.
At first, I thought I haven't been on the internet. I thought I missed something. I'm like, what is he? Is he telling me something?
Yeah.
And of course, last but not least, Sarah. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of on Nathan's vibe tonight. I'm like, just kind of be a little more chill. Just kind of. It's been a long week. I've been on the road, so but yeah, I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys about a few things. So.
Yeah, it certainly has been a long week. Last week was a long week. It seems like every week just seems longer and longer and longer. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy, but we do have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a good way to end it. So before we get going, talking about all the fun stuff we have tonight, let's go ahead and plug the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. Nathan, I'm going to try to do this fast just for you, buddy. Okay? So we got shows 7 days a week dropping. Mondays is World's Finest True Believers with Mr. Balby here covering comic book arcs of your choice from the producers of your choice or writers of your choice. Tuesdays is DC Alliance Podcast with me and Mr. Hines. Wednesdays is Marvel Alliance Podcast. Both of those cover pretty much everything DC and Marvel. Thursdays, you can get Star Wars Alliance Podcast with Nathan and Katie. And they actually do that bi-weekly. And on the other week, they're going to do Slice of Film, which is Katie covering a film. Weeklies. Yes, they're definitely a sexist. Katie's covering a film of the viewer's choice. I think Sunday, we're actually doing a group viewing of, I keep wanting to say Secret Garden, but I know it's Princess Bride.
Stop it.
You cannot get those two confused.
Yeah, I know.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing a group viewing of that because I have never seen it. So I have my reasons. It's not that I didn't like it.
I can't wait.
I just, as a young boy, Princess Bride didn't sound like an intriguing movie to me. And the internet
as you wish.
So.
I want your daughters in there, like right there with you, just to be like, because I want the perspective of the teenager and the one that's like preteen, because I got a feeling there might be two different levels of like, what is this, or just I love this.
Now, Nathan, you said you were going to be a little tame. Calling Greg names is preteen.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, well, you tried.
I tried.
Hey, this plug's only long because you interrupted it, just so you know.
I got it. I know. Hey, I'm going to let you finish before I defend myself. But go ahead.
Then we get to Fridays where we have superhero discussions with me and Travis again, where we're talking about Superman the Animated Series, and we're about to finish that up. So we're going to have to pick a new show to do here pretty soon and put a vote out there for the fans. So check out Twitter and vote for us. What's up? No.
Well, you go ahead and tell them what's after Superman when you're a little lull in between seasons, because I know the first thing that's coming, and I think there's going to be a 1, 2, maybe 3 hit before you get to the next season. But what, you're going to be watching Batman Under the Red Hood? I know Travis is making you watch that next.
Yeah,
after Superman's done, you will be watching Under the Red Hood. Which I think is great that you're going to get into some animated movies.
We're going to be doing that before Superman's done, because I think the animated movies we're like we'll do those while we're doing the show.
Oh, well, that's fine. See, good. You just made my whole day even better. I can't wait to hear you watch that one.
Yeah, we're doing Under the Red Hood, and then we're going to do what is it? Dragons and
yes, Knights and Dragons.
Knights and Dragons, Deathstroke movie, and then of course when Death in the Family comes out. We're gonna check that out. So it'll be really fun. Friday nights, check us out here on Super Civil Servants Live. Come check out the show. It's usually right around 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. Still getting my feet under me for getting this thing up and going. But Saturdays and Sundays, you're going to get DC Weird Science comics and Marvel Weird Science comics, covering comic books currently coming out right now. It's a great way to follow some stuff you're not necessarily you haven't read yet, or find out something about something you might be interested in. It's a good way to keep up with those. And then that's it right there, right? I think that's all the shows. We have a lot of shows now. It's a lot to plug. Nathan, was that fast enough for you?
Yeah. See, here's my defense in that. Okay. It's not that we were ever too long. It's just Absolutely Network has to be plugged. There's 7 days. As a matter of fact, there's 2 shows that drop on Saturday now. And a little behind the scenes here, guys, there's been rumblings that there might be a couple more shows. No, that's right, not 1, not 2. But could all fall through, but there's more going to be possibly coming. And then I said, yeah, we'll spend the first 25 minutes of every show just plugging the other 47 shows that are going to be on the network eventually, where you get 4 shows every Monday, 4 shows automatically download and go, which I'm giving Travis Snail shit because I get it, but it's just, so I get it. And then Hines jumped on the part where he's gonna make it good, and I'll give him credit. He flew through that. It was nice and tight.
50%.
That's what she said.
Right. We cut we cut it down 50%. So 13 minutes 1 week, 6.5 minutes. So it was great. But there we go. So check us out, and this audio actually drops on Saturday mornings. So, but
don't forget. We have a Patreon, and as Travis likes to say, $1 keeps the candles flickering. And so there's a $5 tier that gets you exclusive content and early access to episodes or shows and ad-free episodes.
Yes, sir. And we're going to be dropping a lot of early stuff here on Superhero Discussions, get a little further ahead pretty soon. So there'll be a lot of extra stuff for patrons to check out there.
Love extra stuff.
I do too. It's always fun. Extra's good. Well, y'all, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. Let's see. Sarah, you asked me about one thing that I'm going to put you on the spot immediately with.
Ooh.
And because I have not watched any of this, but you've been talking it up, and I would like to watch it to be able to cover it with you. But give me an overview of what you're thinking of. You said Lower Decks, right?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think Chris and I saw this at about the same time when they were advertising it and bringing it in.
Okay.
And it's the animated Star Trek series. I was interested, but since I had a lot of things going on, I didn't really dive into it. But I was actually, I think I was in Nashville. And I was like, you know what? I got some time on my hands. I think it was like 5 episodes?
Yeah, I think
that's what they've dropped for the first season thus far. And I watched. I didn't get to see everything new on Star Trek Day, but I did go back and look at the panel for Lower Decks, and so I watched that first because I recognized a lot of the cast. And so I jumped into it, and I pretty much binged, I think at least the first 4, and I've since seen the 5th one. Oh my gosh, it is awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's so I don't know how to really describe it because it's the Lower Decks. It's like the very bottom, like below engineering, like the really depths. I mean, this cast of characters, everybody has their own little niche, and their own issues. I don't know. It's just hilarious.
So you're saying the red shirts are higher ranking than these guys?
No, I mean they're like this one little clique. I mean, it's like you have everybody and then them.
That's basically how they explain the Lower Decks on the show. It's
exactly.
This,
it's like and everybody and then them. Yeah. So it's just funny how they interact with each other and the duties they have to go along with. And there's a lot of plugs and just mentions of other things. You'll hear Picard's name. You'll hear, I think there was one episode when they were even talking about how the different ships, the warp engines had different sounds. I don't know. It's just one of those. It's just a really fun series. It just kind of, I don't even know how to describe this because like I said, it's like there was just certain things. I mean, it really had me laughing out loud. And Badgie, oh my gosh. You just have to see this. I mean, I think they're all like, what, 45, 50-minute episodes? So they're 30, 45 minutes, something like that. So they're really short. So, I mean, it's really easy to binge them. And it's really cool listening to, especially the panel for Star Trek Day, how they described how they came up with this. And, it's just really a fun little homage, basically, to the higher, it's like the whole sphere of the Star Trek series.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll just kind of leave it like that at that. I mean, I really suggest watching it because you will laugh out loud. I mean, obviously, because some of it's so outlandish, but then some of it is so heartwarming and endearing, and you really feel how the crew works together with each other, and it's cute. It's cute as it can be. I mean, that's all I can really say.
When you say laugh out loud, like, you mean like it's do you mean literally laugh? Like, is it a comedy? Is it supposed to have like funny moments to it, or do you mean okay.
I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's a parody. I wouldn't say that, but I mean, it's since it is animated, it can be. It's a little more. There's a little more comedy to it versus. It's just fun. I mean, it's just one of those.
Somebody's house getting ransacked?
Yeah.
I'm just giving you shit, Sarah.
I'm telling you, man.
I just want to make sure nobody's stealing your entire kitchen.
No, it's just trying to do dishes.
See a burglar in the background behind her creeping.
Pay no mind.
Hey, can we take this TV? Sweet.
What's that?
Can we take this TV?
Yeah.
That would be loading the dishwasher. That's what that is.
I hear you.
Oh, he said he wasn't going to take the couches.
Somebody's loading the dishwasher.
Let me turn that down just a little bit.
But yeah,
I mean, it's a really fun watch. I mean, it's something you can probably push through, like one afternoon or any time. But it's super cute, and like I said, if you've seen any of the other Star Trek series or whatnot, they do mention it, so it makes it feel like a cohesive, like it is part of the Star Trek world.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something.
It's canon technically, isn't it? Because I know isn't Star Trek like everything's canon, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the Kelvin timeline split off, but I mean everything's canon in the main universe, right?
Well, some of us kind of debate the discovery of it.
Yeah.
A lot of us
have heard that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of TNG references. There's Voyager references. I mean, there's probably some DS9 because there is a Ferengi in there, which I thought was kind of interesting. And the Klingon, the one Klingon you see, you're like, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean,
it's a very self-aware show.
Yes, it is.
I love hearing these guys talk about Star Trek because, like, I'm over here going, what the F? And this is what I feel like Travis thinks whenever Katie and I talk about Star Wars. Because, like, I'm just like, wow, like, listen to these guys. Katie's like, oh, yeah, or Sarah's like, this species over here is from this series, and then it comes in around here and goes over there. And then I know these guys, and I'm like, yes, I want to know more like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting here listening to y'all. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they know so much." I said I've got to get into the Star Trek thing.
There is another universe.
New.
It's like, just to add on what Sarah's saying, it's finally come into its own. Like the first couple of episodes were just, I chuckled every once in a while, but as it's gotten deeper and deeper, and again, it's very self-aware. It's a lot of Easter eggs. Even if you don't know the Easter eggs, it'll fly over your head. It'll be like, what we call the Family Guy show. It's a 10% show. You get 90% of everything in there. That 10% just goes right over your head. But it's done by the people who've done Rick and Morty. So the art style is very similar. The humor is very not as crude as Rick and Morty, but it's fun. It's fun. It's different. I know some people in the Trek really don't like it. Some people don't like it because you can't have humor in it. I mean,
I've heard it's a little too quote goofy from some die hard.
Well, yeah, you can look at it like that. You can. I mean, it's not very. I think it just it's a little more not as serious. I mean, because I think it's because it is animated, so they kind of
like Galaxy Quest.
No,
are we going?
That's a good comparison.
Zany?
Kind of, sort of.
I wouldn't go that far, but it has elements of it.
Okay, because I actually loved the movie Galaxy Quest when I was growing up.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time.
I really did. I love that movie.
Yeah.
So.
Have you guys seen? I Oh shoot! What's the space series with Steve Carell?
Space Force.
Space Force.
Yeah, Space Force.
I did.
No,
Has anybody seen that?
I'm good.
I
I
did.
don't need any political
Well, the only
anything.
reason I asked that is because the voice of Mariner, she is actually the helicopter pilot in Space Force.
Oh, okay.
And then also, was it Bombler? I can never pronounce his name. Boimler. Yeah, that's actually Jack
Boimler.
Quaid, which is our boy Huey. So that's his.
Quaid.
And so that's what was so in like Jerry O'Connell. He's the voice
Fucking
of
Superman. What's up?
Yes, I mean he's one of the voices. So I mean, and there's a lot of guest voices in there as well. Like Haley Joel Osment was one of them, and I think John Delancey is supposed to come in at some point as Q. So I'm like really excited about that.
Yeah, they've made a lot of references to Q in the last few episodes. So
yes. But I mean,
is that like M's brother from the Bond franchise, or
yeah, we'll go with yes for that. You know,
is that the crossover I would watch?
Sarah,
Bond,
if we say yes,
he
would know.
The Trek universe. Let's
Yeah,
watch
that's
that
true.
crossover. I'll watch it all day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Nathan might like Q.
The guy that likes screwing up and having some fun. Yeah.
I think
Sure.
I might be like this.
Sure.
Get a little nuts.
No, but this is a fun series. I mean, I like it because it doesn't take itself 100%, super serious. It's a lot different than Discovery, but I just like the fact, like I said, that it does have those Easter eggs. It does have those references. It does kind of pull it in, so you feel like it is part of the canon of the Star Trek universe.
Sure. Okay. You said there's 5 episodes out? Is that the whole first season?
No, I think they're supposed to come out. This is like the first half, like the front of the first season. I think they're going to have
whenever Discovery premieres, is that the week before will be its last episode.
And Discovery, I think, is coming out October 15th. I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
So they were trying to take a Disney Plus approach almost, where like they did with Clone Wars and Mandalorian, where one stopped, you got a little break, and then bam, you were flowing right into the next thing.
The formula works.
That's smart.
It
It keeps people interested. It gives you new content. That's smart.
Well, especially with Picard, because Picard is not going to be till probably next year sometime, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So,
Well, I'm sure, especially with Patrick Stewart's age and stuff. And I mean, I'm not saying that, but like, there's going to be, not that everybody's not taking this COVID protocol seriously, but when you got older cast members and like he's your star, I would think they're going to take a little extra precaution. I would think personally.
Yeah.
Well, you got to protect Professor X and
That's what I'm
Picard.
saying.
Come on.
Exactly. Like he's a national treasure.
He is.
well, I mean, he's been reading sonnets all through this
Every day.
pandemic, so got to keep it up.
Well, that's funny. You guys talk about Star Trek because this week, like, I watched the. I know they're not super popular, but the JJ, the Kelvin timeline. I watched the first two.
I like them.
Now I've seen all the original Star Trek movies, but it's been years since I was a kid. And like I said, it was never something like my stepdad watched, and so he took me to move. But what I'm getting at is, I know a lot of people hate Into Darkness, and I think it's a pretty goddamn good movie. But I don't remember the original Wrath of Khan movie. You know what I mean? Like I think Into Darkness is pretty good, but also. I give it credit because JJ did what he did exactly worked for me, because he said when he first started in 09 or for the 09 one that he was going to try to make a Star Trek movie that Star Wars people could get into. Right here, it worked because I love
it's
it.
not just that.
Timeline trilogy.
The cool thing about the Kelvin timeline is it's split,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't necessarily have to, and that's kind of what I see. And anything Star Trek, I will take. I'm totally cool with it. I'm not going to be one of those.
Right.
It's only the original series. That's the only thing. I love the fact that they gave it where it's split off to where you can have more stories. You can have something.
They built it right into the first movie.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can still have your original timeline, and then you can also have your Kelvin timeline. It's like
I like the Kelvin movies.
It'd be like if Hulk never returned this time.
I'm not a purist.
Okay,
You have these Star
right.
Trek purists that just totally lose their minds, and I'm like, just be thankful. There's more out there to see. I mean, you can have this, and you can also have this.
That's a nice way to look at it.
The thing the good thing about the Kelvin timeline is it brought a lot of people who'd never seen Star Trek,
Absolutely.
into it, and that was a good thing. And also, that was actually. When our friends and fans about Borders, they do, the unpopular opinion. I actually said, I put that out there, is that
Mine too.
That's my unpopular opinion, is I actually do like, Into Darkness, I think JJ's going on record saying, oh, he's, Benedict Cumberbatch, spoilers, 3, 2, 1, is not Khan, and it ends up being.
He lied directly to everybody's face.
Yeah. And so it was, there are some missteps in it, but I actually really do like the movie. And I really enjoy the Kelvin timeline because it kind of like you, Sarah, it's just like, it's in what we could say also about Star Wars. Even the worst thing of Star Wars, like the holiday special, it's still Star Wars. You'll still find some things to either enjoy or laugh at.
You get Butcher, you get Steve Trevor, and you get Batman all in the same movie. Like, come on, how can it not be good? And Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Thor is
in this universe. Right. So, come on,
he's Captain Kirk's dad.
Okay, you're right. So technically, we could have Butcher. It could be Butcher, or it could be Surtur, or it could be, or you know what I'm saying? He could be the Lord of the Rings guy. Like, we can go on. Carl Urban's.
You've even got Gamora. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah. Wow. Exactly.
I think it's great. I mean, like I said, give me anything Star Trek, give it to me. I don't care. I'll take it. Mm-hmm. I'll take it. I'm not gonna be picky.
Yeah, I'm like Nathan. It's not that I didn't like Star Trek. I just never gave it a chance. Growing up, my stepdad liked Star Wars, hated Star Trek, so I just never watched it. But the newer movies, the new trilogy, has really got me into it. I really love those movies, and Into Darkness is my favorite of the three.
Nice.
But I really almost sent a message last night, but I figured I would ask y'all tonight. I was supposed to ask you for the show. Indiana Jones, we're wrapping up next week. And I was going to actually suggest the Calvin timeline movie, Star Trek movies for the next ones, the Super Civil Servants follow.
I'm there.
Yep.
I'm there. Yep.
All right, cool. We'll make it so then. After we do Indiana Jones, that'll be the next one we follow. Is that true?
I see what you did there.
So. Make it so.
But, all right, cool. Well, that worked out. So it sounds like we're all interested to check out Timeline. Sorry. Travis just texted me.
Always timelines.
Yeah.
Always.
Exactly.
Travis says, save the boys for the end, please.
We already talked about it.
Let me know. Yep. Sorry, man. We started with that. We led with that.
Sorry, dude. Yeah. We know you're just over here being a voyeur watching us and just wanting to jump in whenever you're ready to finish. We know.
He says,
we know how you are, motherfucker.
He says, let me in after the Mando talk. Okay.
Let me in.
That's cool because we got one topic and then the Mando talk. We're going to do this one topic. And Chris, I'm going to start with you. Are we done with Star Trek?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
I just brought it up because I know I got two of the biggest Star Trek fans that I personally know, so I just figured I had to say,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was fresh in my mind.
Well, Chris, you lead off with this one, man. Talk to me about MCU's new big bad. I know y'all talked about it on Marvel Alliance podcast. Possibly, exactly. Mm-hmm. Y'all talked about it on Marvel Alliance this Tuesday. It was an interesting conversation. It's a big news, so I did want to bring it up on here.
Yeah.
Let me hit.
Yeah, it kind of took pretty much everyone by surprise. Not necessarily the casting, but just what the character is going to be. And so, Deadline reported, I believe it was on Monday, that the actor Jonathan Majors, who has recently got even more famous because of the series Lovecraft Country on HBO, really amazing actor in that series, really weird series, but I'm kind of hooked just because it's kind of like I can't take my eyes off the screen. This is really strange, and I'm watching it. I enjoy it, but he's good. But it's on HBO. But the other thing
who reported this? I'm sorry.
Is Defy Bloods on Netflix, but he has been cast in Ant-Man 3, Untitled Ant-Man 3, to play the major Marvel villain of Kang the Conqueror, is the rumor. It hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed that he has, but that is they're saying he is likely to play the supervillain Kang the Conqueror. And what makes it even
this?
What's that?
I think it was Deadline.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Deadline did this
story. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, then I'm listening. Then all right. Yeah.
So the more interesting thing is that Ant-Man 3 is not scheduled to be released until 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're announcing his casting gave Snell and me pause to say that there has to be a bigger reason than just Ant-Man 3. And we talked about how Endgame kind of changed things with timelines and separate divergence in Earth. We've already got on record that, Doctor Strange is a multiverse of madness. We've got WandaVision going into this. and it is definitely, Kang is a very interesting villain of time at that point, traveling back and forth through time. I mean, his name in the comics is Nathaniel Richards. He is thought to be a possible descendant of Reed Richards or Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom. It has never been confirmed either way, but there's a lot of things saying, oh, that means that we're gonna, we have more casting possibly with Reed Richards. But again, it's never been confirmed, and there's not necessarily saying, how MCU sometimes does it. They'll take little hints of here and there and make it their own.
Right.
But he's from the 31st century. He got a hold of lots of different technology, became very fascinated with time travel, got his suit by meeting up with Dr. Doom, then went back to Egypt and tried to take on became a pharaoh and had plans to claim a new heir of the basically En-Sabah-Nur, which is the mutant apocalypse. Mm-hmm. That didn't work out too well. Fantastic Four stopped him. That's where he met Dr. Doom later on, got his armor, then overshot his timeline to go back in time, and ended up on an Earth that he eventually conquered, taking the name Kang the Conqueror. And so he doesn't have any superpowers. He's highly intelligent, has access to all this technology, weapons, mm-hmm. A suit that can keep him alive for 30 days with food and water. He's basically, he may be quote unquote killable, but he's in so many different parts of timelines that he's basically immortal. At one point or another, he's always there. He's been tied to the Young Avengers with the character Iron Lad. So again, a character that could have limitless possibilities, and he's not a one-off villain. This is a villain in the Avengers universe that is a formidable opponent, and it gave a lot of us pause, saying the fact that they're announcing this casting early could be that he's also ties into maybe to the Loki series, or he's making appearances in other shows. No confirmation on that, but it could be Kang could be our new big bad, and it elevates Ant-Man 3, not just with the possibility of that, but again, Kang is a bigger villain than Ant-Man should have. So
the only concern I have about that, and it doesn't really matter about my concerns, because even if I think it's wrong...
Yes, they do. They're your concerns.
Well, what I mean is in the overall scheme of Marvel, they're going to do it, and they're going to do a great job of whatever they do with it, is if you're saying it's somebody that doesn't have any powers, like it seems like after Thanos and Infinity Stones and Infinity Gauntlet and like everything else, like somebody who doesn't have any powers seems like somebody that would not necessarily be as bad of a villain as you're used to.
You're looking at it wrong.
Okay.
Think about it. Right now, think about what you wore when you were in the military. Quote unquote, your suit of armor, your bulletproof vest, your ammo shit. Think of what they wore in the Knights days. They literally wore clunky ass suits of armor. Kang's from the 31st century. Take our technology now. So we got Iron Man suits in this universe. Throw that up another 1,000 years. Kang's wearing technology that to us is like, holy shit, that is a superpower.
Isn't that essentially just Booster Gold?
Isn't
essentially just Booster Gold?
In an abstract way, kind of.
Well, I wouldn't even go that far, just because Booster Gold has never been the most intelligent person in the room at that point. We were talking about someone who has studied history, studied science and physics and different things like that. His ship gives him access to basically technology, like you said, Nathan, that we have never seen. And so, yeah, he may not have powers, but I could also say this: Batman doesn't have powers either.
That's true.
Well, you've never, you haven't watched
the entire Marvel universe.
Well, my main Kang knowledge comes from Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
I'm sorry, I don't you fuck it. Batman could beat the entire Marvel universe.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. Sorry, go ahead, Nathan.
He said what he said. You heard him.
Right. Yeah,
he wavered from Batman, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead. Sorry, Nathan.
No, I was going to say, that was where I really first learned about Kang, was Earth's Mightiest Heroes, other than just, like, vague passing, but, like, watching that. And then, doing a little more research into him. But even like Chris was saying, like this could work in multiple levels because even it depends on what direction they take it. But like you said, we already know we have one timeline split right now that the Loki series is going to take place in, and that one little image they wore that there's like these guards that got him, and if you Googled what the patch was, it was like this time police patch or whatever. And basically, like Kang, and not only does Kang rule the things, but there's also a council of Kangs that Kang from every different timeline gets together to where they're the smartest people in the room. And most of the time, like in the stories, it's like the Kang that we know that battles our heroes is usually the one that gets his ass kicked, while all the rest of them just mop the floor with their Avengers and stuff. But either way, like there's multiple possibilities because let's just say Ant-Man beats this Kang, which I know everybody be like, what the F? You literally just flip the switch and you can literally have one scene where he's beat, blink, go to the next scene, there's a council of Kangs that are watching the whole thing to say, okay, now we know that these are this threat. We need to come in and go. But there's a lot of possibilities to where even you could I agree with Travis and Chris and Brent that like Ant-Man beating Kang's gonna be kind of like really like especially the Scott Lang version. Hank Pym and using his intellect to go against Kang. Okay, I can see it more. But Scott Lang, who's just kind of like the smile, like, he's the guy that was Mr. Captain America, sir, and you know what I mean, and like he's ripping Falcon's things out of time. I'm sorry, like like Scott's not who I imagine going mentally toe to toe with somebody on the level of Kang or even battling his technology. But let's just like we know Captain Marvel's supposed to have some kind of like importance where it's not. Almost like a Captain America Civil War type. There's going to be other heroes involved in her story, supposedly. Yep. Most rumors are thinking Thor and the Guardians because they're all out in space, and bringing in whatever, or bringing in a new character, or even Valkyrie. But either way, you could still do the same thing with Ant-Man 3, to where maybe it's not Ant-Man and the Wasp, and even Hank and Janet. They got to call in maybe, I don't know. Take your pick. Somebody that you'd be like, what the hell? Maybe they got to go. Well, I know this is kind of on a somber note now, but maybe they got to go to Wakanda to get some extra tech, and maybe instead of unfortunately Chadwick Boseman, maybe instead of Black Panther, maybe they bring in the new Panther Shuri to come help out or something. You know what I mean? Like you could if they're putting this importance with this character, because I agree that I don't think you do Kang in an Ant-Man movie and just one off him and kill him and put him on the shelf. Like I think you bring in some help and you set some stakes up to where. Like it is not the character. Like I said, Scott Lang is my only hitch on this. Is I don't see Scott going toe to toe with Kang.
But remember, we're dealing with an Ant-Man that survived Endgame, so
he knows the time. Well, and that's going to be my.
Well, I'm just saying he's a very changed person as a result of Endgame, and so you're also referring to when you mentioned the patch, the Time Variance Authority.
Yes.
Yeah. So But you bring up a good point, and that's what we talked about on Marvel Alliance, talked about possibly the Young Avengers, or who we're thinking it's going to be the champions at that point that may be brought in. But, I'll mention the quote again because I think it's perfect for it, is what Tony said about time. When you mess with time, it tends to mess back, and Kang's the perfect villain to bring in who can you messed with time, and they could use that as an angle for him coming into the thing.
The time variant.
Yeah, and the time variant, yeah.
So. Well, I think Rick and Morty said it best that when Rick said, "I don't respect time travel. If Ant-Man and the Wasp could do time travel, I don't respect it." He moved on with it, which was fucking hilarious because out of all the movies to start with time travel, it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. But I digress. Go ahead, Greg. You were trying to say something?
Well, I just wanted to ask. They announced him as being the character, but they didn't announce he was going to be the big villain of this movie, right? So it may not even be.
They didn't announce the character. We are just a lot of enough sources have said that they're saying it's Kang, but Disney did not confirm that he is playing Kang. I think they only the furthest that he is in the movie playing a major role.
Okay, major role. I get that changes answers my question then, because I was wondering if it was going to be something like, even if you had, Josh Brolin was in Avengers, or not Josh Brolin, the guy whoever played the first Thanos was in Avengers because they had that scene at the very end of Avengers. I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that. If they had a character like Kang,
that's a good point. They could literally see him in the quantum realm.
3.
They could literally pass him in the quantum realm.
The exact quote was. Ready to make his debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a big way. He has been tapped for one of the lead roles in the next Ant-Man movie. The studio has no comment, but sources close to the project say he is likely to play the supervillain Kang the Conqueror.
Okay. Well.
And it's deadline, so it's not
Pay
our
attention.
week. We got this covered.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like it's that's the direction they're leaning. I guess I'm sure they'll make it work somehow or another.
Like I said, he's a phenomenal actor, so I love the choice.
And the thing is, you can even have him be a major character, just like Thanos and Loki in Avengers, but just have him in there more. Where he's not necessarily there. Maybe he's pulling the strings from behind or something. And I mean, you could have him be a major character without going against Ant-Man.
It could be a Guardians type situation with Thanos and Guardians. Technically, Ronan
there you go.
and the Kree were the end. That's who they fought, but Thanos was the man behind him. So it could even. But I mean, now whatever version they do, and Chris, you have more knowledge than I do, obviously. But the version of Kang that I know is like he calls himself the Conqueror for a reason. Like I don't think he would sublet his ass kickings. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not calling somebody else in to kick somebody else's ass. But I don't know. This is going to be a new interpretation. Like you said, they take cues.
Yeah, I mean, he took his name from when he overshot his timeline and came to an Earth that was basically kind of good for the picking at that point. He ended up conquering Earth, where he got his name from. So again, he has taken different names. He has come up over and over and over again in the Avengers, in comics at that point. Like I said, he's tied to the Young Avengers as a version of himself that wanted to stop himself from coming into existence. And again, being that time, and I'll say this to you now to your face, Nathan, guess what? This could be another villain created by Tony Stark in the sense of
I know. I heard you guys saying that and I was laughing.
We can't avoid it, but
everybody's connected to Tony.
Time travel, so
yeah, it's a possibility. That would be pretty funny.
I'll chuckle.
There you go.
No, watch. What's his daughter's name? What's the daughter's name in Endgame?
I
forgot.
Cassie?
Morgan?
Or
Morgan. Yeah, Morgan, watch. Eventually, the next villain's going to be connected to Morgan. We're going to go, God damn it, they're always connected to a star.
The robot going to be called I Love You 3000?
Right. Right. Ultron's going to come back and just try to, it's exactly. They'll work it in, Greg. Don't worry. It'll be Anthony. It'll be Howard, Anthony, and Morgan. It'll always be a Stark.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love that line in that movie.
Yeah, me too. I'm just kidding.
That line.
And you guys give me way more crap for that than I deserve. I don't harp on it, but
we don't give you crap.
Most villains are connected to Tony.
No, you bring up. You're not the only one who says that, Nathan. You're the only person I know personally that say it.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You're the one I can lash back at.
Right.
No. All right, cool. Well, you guys got anything else you want to say about Kang?
Bring it on. And if you haven't seen Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I highly recommend it. And there's a 2-part arc in the first season, and I do believe Kang returns in the second season, but you can get a little more knowledge there. And I just watch the show because it's actually the best version of the Avengers I've personally seen. Like I love my cinematic universe, but this animated series, if it would have came out in the 90s with X-Men, Batman, Superman, all of that stuff, it would have been held in the high regards. And even if it would have, most people put it in the same league as the Justice League animated series. So that's saying a lot.
Got me interested. I'm sure we're probably going to end up checking that out in superhero discussions at some point in time. So, long way to go. All right, check that out. Kang, possibly. We'll see what happens. But, Chris, you're usually pretty spot on about this kind of stuff. So
I just regurgitate and give theories.
Oh, I know, but if you put faith into it, if you think it's going to happen, then I have a little more faith into it myself. So,
I have that power.
All right, well, real quick, before we go into the next topic, let's go ahead and do that podcast magic and take a little break. As Travis likes to say, keep the candles burning. And,
keep the candles flickering.
That's right. So check it out. Be back in about 30 seconds. Here we go. All right, and we're back. So we've gone.
Gosh, I can't believe we traveled back in time.
Kang's got nothing on us.
Yeah.
So all right, so we covered a few things. Let's go to the Mando trailer. And if I'm going to talk Star Wars, of course I'm going to start off with Nathan here. So Nathan gets going with the Mandalorian trailer.
Well, first of all, unfortunately, Katie and I recorded, and literally the trailer dropped the next day. And I know Katie and I are going to talk about it again, but since we only released Star Wars on the Sexiest of Weeklies, it's going to be a while before we get a chance to bring it up. So I'm going to bring up a couple things now. And first of all, can I just say I effing loved it. I had the biggest smile on my face. I'm just ready for it. I'm ready. It just feels like it. It looks like it again. Looks like they're expanding the universe a little bit.
There's some familiar places like Tatooine. You see some more, you see some more remnants of the Empire. I found it weird that there's like sailing on boats with like sails, and even though we're in this futuristic world, like we can't have propulsion, like whatever. But I'm there for the water planet or whatever. There's speculation that it could possibly be Camino or Mon Calamar, and I'm down for both of them because, like in the first season, that weird scientist guy, he has a patch that's a Camino clone, the cloning patch of Camino. So, like, if Baby Yoda's if the Mando's trying to hunt down where he come from and stuff, trying to look for the Jedi. Well, the Jedi did something major on Camino. They got their clone army. Like, it'd be just a cool little connection if he's going there. But I would also like to see Mon Cal in live action because it's only been in the animated universe. There's also speculation that the ice planet that you see on there that has the huge trench in it is Ilum, which Ilum eventually gets terraformed into Starkiller Base. Ilum is where the Jedi used to get their kyber crystals. So younglings, instead, which you find there's an arc in the Clone Wars animated series where the Ahsoka takes the younglings to Ilum, and that's where they get their kyber crystals for their sabers. But the Emperor stripped the planet and basically turned it desolate. Literally, we see in Force Awakens, they turned it into Starkiller Base. They gutted the planet and turned it into a weapon. So speculation, it could be that or Hoth or... I mean, nobody wants to say it, but it could be a brand new place. There's some mystery going around.
Nobody wants to say because everybody wants to be right about what they thought.
Exactly. Everybody wants to be the places that we know, but it could be somewhere else brand new. I love the one little comedy beat in there where, like, the guy's like, this is no place for a child. And he says, I know, or whatever. And then, like, all the guys turn on him. And he just flips his little wrist, and the whistling birds flip up, and Baby Yoda goes, up, and hits the egg and closes it up and sucks it in there. I just thought that was hilarious. I laughed at that so hard. I can't wait. Like, I'm so ready for the show. I'm just ready for it. Like, it looks beautiful again, and I'm ready. There's X-wings in it. There's it's just all this shit. I'm ready for it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nathan, do we know how long between seasons 1 and 2? Because we see Carl Weathers, and he's definitely got some gray on his beard.
No, they said it basically picked up right after, but I don't know, or but I don't know if that's like the first episode of like them going and him finding something, and then there's a time note. Because you're right, Carl Weathers, like I said with all the Star Wars Alliance this week, I hope I look that good at 72, 73 years old, but there is that goatee goes awfully white. So I'm just wondering like how far out on his journey he's gone or how long it's been. Because like I said, it also looks like there's some world building, some expanding in this season, just from the different locations and stuff. And it's going to be on a broad, like the New Republic's in there. There's X-wings either escorting him, and then eventually turns into a firefight or whatever. But there's literally he's flying with a row of X-wings for a minute. So we're expanding the universe a little bit.
See that they're pulling up beside him, like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Pull over.
Yeah, I saw that and I got really excited about it. Sarah, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just excited to see more. I mean, it was, I don't know, I watched it a couple times. I think it was like a couple of days ago, and I saw it on my phone. Brian threw up on the TV, and it was just, I think the funniest moment was when the baby was like,
yep.
Nope.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be a fun season. It looks like things are going to progress, and I hope it does. I mean, I really didn't pick out any, Easter eggs or whatnot because Star Wars, not quite in tune as I am with Star Trek, but still, it looks like it's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it because it was fantastic to begin with, and I just can't see how it can't be any more awesome than it was before. So give me more Baby Yoda, and let's see. And then also, what's his name? Esposito with the...
Esposito.
Yes. I want to see more of that dark saber. Let's have a little bit more.
Yeah, he was very absent from this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? I was walking through Walmart today. My daughter's birthday is next week, so I was just looking for stuff to shop for. And of course, I kind of scurried down the toy aisle. Even I'm not getting any toys because she's 10, but I wanted to see what they had. And I did. They were selling a season 2 Mandalorian black saber.
Oh.
So
nice.
I saw that in Walmart today. So I was like, okay, cool. I got you.
So that'll be in my house soon.
But Chris, you got any thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, no. When you mentioned Giancarlo Esposito, it's one of those things that you're right. He wasn't in it. Like I definitely, we see the new TIE fighters at that point, but he is very absent from it, which is fine. I know he's going to be more into that at that point. It's the first trailer. We didn't get to see everything. We don't need to see everything. In fact, if this is the only trailer we get, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally good. But you're right. I like what Nathan says. A lot of world building. We get to see the snippets of the characters we got introduced to with a few more in there. I do like the voiceover about the mission is to bring the child, Baby Yoda, to his people, or in this case, finding a Jedi at that point. We see, I don't know our new character's name, I think also coming from the world of wrestling and or MMA. They're one in the back when they're on the world. Where's Nathan? Is he back?
Yeah, so I haven't watched the trailer enough to know the exact part you're talking about.
Yeah. There's a character that's off to the back, female. Here he is. Let me ask him. Nathan, who's the new actress that's when they're in the trailer?
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, was she from MMA or wrestling?
WWE.
Yeah, WWE.
WWE. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg's cousin.
Okay.
Yep.
So
that's the truth.
I'm looking forward to see who she is and her character and growing this world. Also, we did not see, and I was not expecting to see Ahsoka Tano, but we know rumors, never been confirmed, but rumors are that she is in this series. But I could really see this. She will not be until the very end.
I like how ding dongs were like, the person in the cloak, that's Ahsoka, and I'm like, do you see head tails? Do you see head tails to make that cloak go up this tall? No.
Yeah.
There's
I can
there's
see
speculation that is Sabine Wren in live action because
Nice.
Sasha Banks does crazy colors to her hair all the time. She's about the right build and frame. Like she's muscular, but she's a little bitty thing. You know what I mean? Like she's little, but she like dynamite. Comes in small packages and shit. She's like small, but boom.
Mm-hmm.
But my prediction is Ahsoka will not come in until the midpoint or towards the end of the season.
Well, my speculation is that boat ride right there, where we see the mysterious cloak figure. If that is Sabine, we know the last time we saw Sabine, she was with Ahsoka, and it was after the time of the Battle of Endor. So, this could be she was with them, and they were going to go off on their mission. My speculation is that clip that we saw, we will not see that boat and that water planet until the season finale, or the penultimate one. It's either going to be episode 7 or 8, and we won't see those characters until then. Because I agree with you, Chris. I think if you bring Ahsoka in too quickly, she possibly overshadows. But you could build it up with Captain Rex in an episode that kind of helps lead you to you could go Rex to this until you get there. But I think that we're seeing that as in the where they're trying to make it look like she's a Jedi. No, I think that's the old bait and switch. She's not the Jedi. Although I did hear an interesting rumor that she does look an awful lot like Barriss Offee. And then I went, oh shit, we don't know what happened to Barriss after the Clone Wars. So that would be pretty cool if maybe she escaped or something. But no, I think she's Sabine. That is my. I'd almost bet the farm on it. Guess.
Well, I'm slowly. I've taken a break from my rewatch of Rebels, but the next episode I've got is I think a personal favorite of Nathan's as well. Twilight of the Apprentice is next on my.
That is man, I'm telling
Nathan,
you.
You're all right.
You need a towel, buddy.
I knew I'd get him with that.
Well, there's a video I've sent out there to you guys before that somebody took the Twilight of the Apprentice and they put flashbacks of the Clone Wars in there and a voiceover of Ahsoka from the Clone Wars talking to Anakin about how he taught her to take care. You want to talk about just kicking you right in your just right in the feels. Like that is just
right in the field.
Twilight of the Apprentice, man, that is that final showdown between, or not final, but the confrontation that finally goes down between Vader and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, again, Star Wars, Mandalorian. We'll take a week.
I've said before, and there's been speculation and there's been these rumors all this time that there's going to be a Rebels sequel series or like a successor series would be a more accurate way of describing it, because we know, spoilers for Rebels 3-2-1, Kanan's dead, Hera's off, raising her family, Zeb's back with his people and stuff. You'll forget everybody else. I ain't worried about it. By the time you get to it, you'll forget everything I said. But there's a successor show would be Ahsoka and Sabine, and you could pick these remnants up in Captain Rex.
And I've said it before that I think that the Succession show will be in live action. I think it'll be after we get our basically the Ahsoka and Sabine elements into the Mandalorian are going to be basically a backdoor plot to send those two characters along their way on their own series, which will be basically a successor series. Okay. And I've been saying that, and I'm still betting on that.
Well, speaking of Kanan, it's kind of it's on topic, but little squirrel at that point. I did see something post that there's voting currently is going on right now to introduce what new lightsaber hilts will be at Galaxy's Edge, and Kanan's is one of them. Mm-hmm. That is one of the choices. It's Anakin, Kanan, Fallen Order character from Fallen Order.
Cal Kestis.
Yeah, his is one of them. As one of the choices, and a few others. So
Kanan, first of all, Anakin should already be there first.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised that was one of the choices, but yeah, it's on there.
Kanan's, if they really want to make it set apart, they want to do it right. Kanan's is the only one I know of that can be taken into two pieces and held stored separately like that, where he literally takes it apart and keeps it on his belt in two pieces, clicks it together, and turns it. So if they did that to where you could literally snap it on and snap it together, that'd be cool as hell.
That would be cool. I'd like to see that.
See if I can pull it up.
Yeah.
Vote for the next legacy.
What did you guys think though? Like Greg, did you say? I had to go to the bathroom and do dad stuff for a minute.
Oh, no, I haven't said much yet. No, I enjoyed it, man. This is a show that I'm sitting here looking at it and thinking about it. I could probably stand to have a new episode of this show every week for like the whole year. Just like keep going. Don't have breaks in the season. Mm-hmm. It's I think it'll be like the drama version of The Office for me, where I can just have it on any episode, anytime, anywhere I am, and I'm cool with it. Like, because The Office is kind of my go-to-sleep show. Like, I don't want to start something that I'll be so interested in that I need to stay awake to watch it, but I want to listen to something I'm interested in. This will be that show for me, because I love, especially after watching the making of it, the documentary series they did on it, it makes me want it even more. Now seeing how this stuff has come to be, the technology they use, it's absolutely amazing. And for me, listening to the trailer, just the things that stood out for me, or line that stood out for me, was "Wherever I go, he goes." I don't know about y'all, but that always reminds me of My Buddy. When I hear that line, "Wherever I go, he goes," and I want to. I'm sounding old by the My Buddy thing, but I want to match a video up behind, or the audio of the My Buddy commercial behind this video they together, and see what it feels like.
That's not gonna be. Are you gonna put ominous music behind it and everything, just to make it extra creepy?
Just or My Buddy music, So, but I thought that was pretty fun. Like every time I hear those words, what I think about is the commercial. And so when I think that was the name of the title. Whenever I saw it, was the new Mandalorian trailer. "Wherever I go, he goes," and I was like, oh, I thought maybe that was what they're gonna do, but they didn't. It was a way cooler thing.
So I have a small correction. So it's not what you can build your lightsaber to be. There's a shop that you can outfit yourselves with "quote unquote" antiques, and these are the choices for the voting is for one of the legacy sabers to be offered. You have Anakin Skywalker, Kanan Jarrus, Qui-Gon Jinn, Cal Kestis, Ezra Bridger, and Lord Corvax.
Fuck is Lord Corvax? Is that somebody new in the books that I've missed? What's happening?
I only know like two of those names. So,
and
this is, I don't know if you can see.
That's one that I don't know, but I like that. First of all, the blatant disrespect
there we go.
To Luke,
get Katie on it.
Yeah.
The blatant disrespect to Luke. They don't have Leia's new offering. They don't have any of the prequel blades. No Sith blades. Oh, come on, Disney. I know you want to milk your own wee, but come on.
They may already be there. This is just one of the new ones.
I do like that last one that you showed that looks like an ancient hilt that looks like a snake cut across that. That looks pretty cool. I'd get that one.
Oh yeah, you know me. If it's available to buy, I'll probably end up buying it.
I agree totally.
Yeah, I like to buy stuff like that. Actually, I thought my the first sword that I'm gonna buy, because I don't have any swords yet. I'm gonna buy what's his name? Aragorn's sword. Oh gosh, why can't I remember the name of it now?
Chris, what's Aragorn's sword's name?
Not as big a Lord of the Rings fan as you are.
I can't remember, but it's awesome.
That's you, man. Come on.
Yeah. Took up I know it was a Isildur sword, but I can't think of the damn name of it.
I think they only say it in the movie once. Quickly.
Yeah, I'd like to get any of the Valyrian steel swords from Game of Thrones. So any of them, Longclaw or Heartsbane or Dark Sister or any of them, like I'd go
Does that
for
sound
them.
right?
Huh?
Anduril?
Yes, Anduril. That's what it is. I know it's something real. Yeah, Anduril.
But I would like that as well.
Yeah, I want to get. Asajj Ventress's sword lightsaber.
Yes.
Oh, I love that hilt, and I think it's just came out. The newest one just came out with her. So, but it's like $250. I can't.
I'd like to get Dooku's.
Yeah, well,
love to get Count
kind of the
Dooku's.
same.
Kind of.
Dooku's, they're similar.
Oh, that curved hilt.
That bent hilt. Yeah, I love it. But oh man, seriously, they're talking about swords and sabers and now. So cool. Oh, that's I found some Titans Robin. Are they Robin rings? They're not batarangs, but they're the little R's.
The R's?
Yeah. Like
Robin
a set of
R's?
steel ones for like
cool.
2 of them for like $10. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay, I would take that.
Yeah.
You can. I'll send you my address, and you ship me one.
eBay,
That's an approved
man.
purchase
eBay.
right there.
There you go.
Greg, I'd like to get. I need to get a replica Sava sword and put it right up there with my dragon dagger crossover behind me. I know you'd like that. I know you'll appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if we're going with swords, let's get Zelda in there. Let's just have a sword wall of all these badass legendary swords. Let's just do it.
I like your thought process. It's a good idea. Legendary sword wall. Make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about the Mandalorian trailer? Nathan, when's it come out? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
October 30th.
That's right.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
I finally figured out who this Lord Kovacs is. All right, so this is coming from Wikipedia, so Katie's favorite source at this point. It's story time, so it's just 2 paragraphs, very short. Long before the rise of the Galactic Empire, Lady Kovacs and her husband resided on Mustafar, which was then a lush planet thriving with life, and the two spouses lived in harmony with the natives. One fateful day, however, Mustafar came under attack, and Lady Kovacs' husband fell in battle, sword in hand. Struck with grief, the woman stole the most sacred artifact in the Mustafarians, the bright star crystal, to power her Aeon engine, and she hoped could resurrect her love. That attempt, however, utterly failed. Not only was Lady Kovacs' husband cursed to be trapped between the real world and that came after, but the powerful engines that burst from the bright star transformed the beautiful planet into a hellscape. Following the incident, Lady Kovacs kept the artifact hidden in her sanctum, whose key could only be used by one of her descendants. She hoped that one day a future descendant would be able to recover the bright star, bringing it back to the Mustafarians and perhaps repair the damage she has done.
Yeah, this is some new Disney cam stuff. I have no idea
That's what it looks like. It looks to be a
Millsap on the bench
VR,
with 3 fouls, and of course Nikola Jokic as well. So Denver's bench doing a good job.
Yep.
Did you guys notice the Gamorrean
for you
guard?
and Katie.
There you go.
Did you guys notice the Gamorrean guard in the fighting pit there at the end? One of Jabba's guards.
Oh,
I did not.
In that fighting circle at the end when they're showing, when he's in that place, that's who one of them are fighting in there. So I thought that was cool.
Good deal. Yeah, I gotta watch it some more. Like I said, I watched it one real quick time. I've only watched it the other day when it came out, and then I watched it just now before we started the podcast. And it was only just now that I've seen it, so I'm ready for the show to come out very soon, very very soon. All right, cool. Well, let's go on to the next topic. And last weekend was a big weekend in DC, and since I kind of threw y'all's topics to y'all to start out, I'll start out some DC stuff and talk about Fandom Day 2. Me and Travis did a deeper dive into this last Tuesday on DC Alliance podcast, where he really led the show with that because he actually got to physically watch it. I just got to read about all the stuff and pick his brain about things that were going on. But some of the great news I heard about that was some Young Justice news. And Nathan, I know you're going to love that because you got me into Young Justice, and we know the title now of season 3 is The Phantoms. Yes. Which I don't know if that's referencing anything. I don't know, what that means.
I've got a feeling it's going to connect to Wally West.
Okay. There's no release date yet, which sucks. And I think let's see. Oh, the possibility it could be on HBO Max.
I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point.
It's confirmed.
Okay. Oh, it is confirmed?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, with the announcement of DC Universe Infinite, they've said it is now it will be effective. The service I think goes down, either in October or at the end of November. I take it back. It'll end. The current service will end at the beginning of December, and will relaunch in January. But it'll only be comics only. So anything that was on there, all legacy, everything will move to HBO Max.
So that's what I was to say. So December is when it goes straight comics, right?
No, December is when it will go down. The service will cease to exist. January, it'll come back up as it's new. And they did say that anyone who has current subscriptions through them in October next month, it'll be offered to everyone, but legacy members will be offered a chance to continue their membership, and will be given, I think, depending on your membership, you'll either be giving $10 or $25 for to spend in the DC store as a thank you.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep,
because I've been a member since kind of day one.
Yeah, so if you continue with an annual membership, you'll get $25.
See, I just don't know though, because I haven't signed up for HBO Max yet, and I know I want it. I know it's great. I just been waiting until basically the death of the DC Universe, which it sounds like, or DC Universe, the DC Universe app. So,
here's another enticing fact: they've extended the offer for DC Universe members. If you would like to add on HBO Max, it'll come to you for, I don't know what the period is, but it'll be added on for just another $5 a month.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I can just continue to pay for. Yeah, I definitely look at that. So I can continue to pay for my DC app.
Yeah.
It'll go just to comics, but I'll basically get everything that's on there on HBO Max for $5 extra a month.
Yeah, you'd add $5 on to the monthly fee.
So that'd be like $13 for HBO Max and DC.
Something like that. Look it up, but I know they that was part of the buried announcement that they're extending that offer. It was already expired, but they are moving it to the end of the month of October.
Yeah, I definitely need to check that out, because I'm interested in that. Because HBO Max is like $14.99 by itself, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that's why you end up, getting HBO Max cheaper, because you're spending more already for.
You're basically just gonna get your comics your app for free. Basically, is what they're doing. They're just trying to pull you into HBO Max and saying, "Hey, since you're legacy and you're rolling it in with this, we'll give you every DC comic for free." Basically,
that works. I'll take that.
Way to look at it. Look it up. Yeah, it's still going on.
Right. But we got off the topic there. We were talking about Young Justice going on it. So but Young Justice gonna be awesome. Can't wait for it. What y'all think about the Justice League theme?
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sarah, what do you think? You've been awfully quiet over there.
I didn't catch that. Don't.
Oh no!
Boo me! I know.
Jump on Twitter. We'll pause the show. Everyone just pause. Jump on Twitter. Look up Junkie XL, and you'll have it.
Or go download DC Alliance podcast. Listen to the intro, because I use it for the intro.
Or be like Greg and be like, talk about him the whole time, and then when Tom Hulkenberg's brought up, he'll be like, "Oh, this guy Tom Hulkenberg," and Travis will be like, "We've been talking about him for 10 minutes."
I'll be vulnerable as hell. I had no idea what Junkie XL's real name was. Didn't know.
But I made you feel better in the sense of I guarantee you more people than just you did not know that was his real name.
And that was what was confusing me, was that I saw that one was using his real name, one was using Junkie XL, and one said score and one said theme. And I was like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they're
words are hard, Greg.
I'm not sure. I didn't want to sound stupid, but I couldn't stop the inevitable. So, but yeah, Junkie XL's theme sounds awesome, man. I was telling Travis about on Tuesday that I can picture a fight scene in my head, or I can picture a scene in my head when I hear it. I feel like it's going to go down as one of those classic ones, especially that Travis loves that drumming at the end, that Batman kind of drum at the end. Yeah, it's nice, man.
Barry Zimmer. He's definitely taking elements of Zimmer's theme with Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as he should. They worked so closely together. Basically with him working with him on BVS, that was kind of like the passing the torch and saying, like, here's not necessarily your model, but like keep it. You know what I mean? Like, kind of match this, but do your own thing.
Yeah, I mean, but it makes the most sense, because if you're continuing the same story at that point, you should take elements from it and integrate it and still honor that there. I mean, again, come on.
We shouldn't bring Elfman in?
I want to. He's good within his own right, but not here.
Right.
I want to hear those 3 notes on piano. I want to hear those notes again.
Fucking too.
Yeah. Gotta hear them. Let's see. There wasn't a whole lot about that, except for the fact that he released that, right? I mean, we didn't get any more news. We don't know when it's going to be in the movie. Travis speculated it's going to be when they all come together.
It was swelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did say it will be in a major action sequence. So we all know that's at the very least the third act.
Okay. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, man. God, I can't wait for this movie.
Or as we're gonna know it as Part 4.
Part 4.
There you go. So I'll have it as one big movie one day. It's done. Watch it very, very soon.
Me too.
But,
God willing.
Not God willing. It's happening, buddy.
Oh no, it's confirmed.
Oh, yeah,
He's already said that you're gonna get it.
I'll make it if it can't happen. I'll download all 4
I got it, yeah.
one quick run. So, but we were talking about HBO Max earlier. Doom Patrol season 3 confirmed that it's all full on HBO Max. Like there's no more DC universe for that. So that'll be interesting. And I was asking Travis about the difference between HBO and the DC app, if they could bring it up a notch as far as crudeness or vulgarity, but they really can't. Like they were pretty on point on the DC line. I mean, HBO's known for that kind of stuff. I just don't know if they can do it anymore. Like
the only thing they could do is improve the effects, and the effects are pretty damn good so far as they have been. Yeah. That's the only improvement I would want. Like I don't want let them be. The writing is top tier, top notch writing, and the practicals look great. The only thing I can say is they could just turn the CGI up a little bit, which I'm fine with everything that's been there. But I think back to that weird giant robot in the first season, like the giant one that you could be like, it was clearly late. Well, I think HBO Max, I don't think it looks so, PS2. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's also a little bit of the charm of the show because you don't want it to be that crisp either. Because I think they said, I think it was asked on the panel at that point, or it was referenced later on in articles. They'll never refer to themselves as the Doom Patrol because that's just not what the show is. In the sense, like you won't hear them. We've heard who the Doom Patrol was, but you have yet to hear them refer to themselves.
Well, Jane, remember Jane? Who the fuck is the Doom Patrol? In that one episode, remember before they went in? Yeah, like when she did that. Yeah.
I love Jane.
Yes,
God, I love her. I love Diane Guerrero.
I want to fan cast her as
Jesus, that's good to me. Yeah, well, I want to fan cast her as well. I mean, if you saw my little quotation marks.
What do you want to fan cast her as?
Here's my Jessica Cruz.
Yes, absolutely.
I could
see
she
voices her in that movie. Doesn't she
does.
Do the voice?
That's one of the biggest reasons.
I could see that. She's a very good actor. So I can definitely see that. But yeah, Doom Patrol, HBO Max, it's gonna be pretty cool. So it's definitely another reason for me to buy it. Like I said, I'm not as big of a Doom Patrol fan as y'all are, but I'm starting to grow to love it more. And it's a good, really enjoyable show now. I'm way more
Sarah
than I
just
was
gave
the
you
first
the
time I
eye.
watch it.
It's like a fungus; it'll grow on you.
That's right. It definitely grows on you. Did y'all see that Batman alternate movie poster? The black and red one had Commissioner Gordon in the front. Oh my gosh, that looked awesome. I want that hanging on my wall. I'm just trying to hit some real quick points from that we picked up from it. New Superman suit we will be getting.
Yes.
For Lois
and Superman.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be pretty cool. And Black.
Curious to see it because I am not a fan of the one that the suit itself is fine until you get the weird Class B shit in the front is my only problem.
That's the same thing Travis said. For some reason that just doesn't bother me. I don't know why.
It doesn't even bother me. It just says, okay, now we practically make sense. We practically make sense of why the cape should kind of hang there at that point. That's just that's my headcanon. So.
I gotta. No, never mind.
No, go for it.
Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Come on.
No, it doesn't pertain to this. I'll bring it up after the DC talk. I want a rebuttal to Travis and Greg and Brent from Monday's show that just popped in my head. I just hope, but I'm not going to derail us right now. Go ahead and finish going through this.
Okay. Well, just one last quick point then that I'll bring up. Everything else is kind of, final line, and we talked about it on DC Lines Podcast. Go download that episode. We were really deep into it. Black Adam begins filming first quarter of 2021, ideally, and is set for a November 2021 release date. How practical do you think that is?
I'm ready.
A lot of the Marvel stuff is also targeting a next year starting filming with later release. So I think it's practical. I think it's plausible, but again, we're still in a COVID world. We will be in a COVID world later, but it's they have their ideas. I mean, Batman started filming again today, so. That's how the rumors were.
Everybody's going to do their bubble process. Everybody's going to do the sports model and do the quote bubble. So even you'll get your cast together down. It will roll into it because studios are tired of losing money. Now I don't understand why they're going to make all these $1 billion budget movies just to have them sitting on the goddamn floor until we get back to the theaters. Because obviously Warner Brothers and Disney with the not so the best reception from Mulan. Like I don't think we're getting Black Widow on the on-demand service at this point. And with everything going in, we're just stacking movies up. And I hate to say it, but I heard somebody say like Wonder Woman keeps getting kicked around. It's basically the new Mutants, and like my excitement is like I'm just kind of going, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like I'm gonna see it, but like I'm not like I was. Yeah, let's go.
It's kind of killing the excitement.
And then I was like, all right, I can wait a little longer. And then I was like, I can wait. And now I'm like, whatever. It'll be out in like 2 years. Just give it to me on Blu-ray already. Like I don't even give a shit.
Yeah, it's kind of killing the excitement because you have this build up, and then keeps getting pushed back, and you're just to the point. It's like, whenever. I mean, just like everything else. Come on.
Well, here's the thing about it. You mentioned the Mulan not being as successful at that point.
As lucrative.
Sure, as lucrative. Yeah. Snell had shared this in a group chat he and I have, and a couple days ago, and this is coming from Yahoo Finance, which again we've joked around. Yahoo actually still exists at this point in it. According to exclusive figures and analyzing this, nearly 29% of U.S. households that subscribe to Disney Plus purchased the $30 Mulan film through September 12th, far surpassing other popular and free titles on the platform. During the company's annual report, during the company's last earnings report, Disney said that the streaming platform has amassed over 60 million global subscribers. So assuming that the U.S. households make up 50% of the total base, Disney has not yet broken down these exact numbers. We're just assuming. The data suggests that roughly 9 million users purchased Mulan film for $30 a pop, 29% of our estimated 30 million users. Under that scenario, the net profits would pile up to $261 million U.S. markets alone, and that's on a conservative side. Remember, they are not paying theaters. They're not paying any distributors. They are not paying any middlemen. So this is straight cash in pocket. Mm-hmm. So we say it wasn't as successful, but when I agreed with you on that one. But until I read that article, I didn't think about it like that. Is it the success they wanted it to be? Probably not. But
not for a $200 million budget.
Not for a $200 million budget, but it.
But you got to think it also released. It released globally though. But it did release globally, and you're counting for the U.S. number, right? So basically, $200 million, over $200 million. That's, I guess, for a pandemic like that. Hey, that's fucking just. But it wasn't. It wasn't, especially with the appeal that it was supposed to have to the Asian markets. And really, I've heard China and the other are fucking shredding it because they're like, this is typical what white people think us Asian people want. Like, I don't know. That's just whatever. I haven't been delving into, but I'm just saying.
With the lead actress supporting the Hong Kong police and the protests at that point, that's also hurt it in that market.
See, I didn't know that. Yeah,
so there's a little bit of that, but like I said, they also compare it to, Tenet, when grossed in the U.S. theaters $207 million globally, only about 14% of that came from the domestic market, at roughly $29 million.
But you can't count that either because you don't have California or New York, the two biggest markets for movies, to go. That's
what they're trying to fight. I think
it is an issue. I'm not saying it's a success.
It's fudging. Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting to look at it from that perspective, and also people saying, "Oh, Mulan was successful, so that means Black Widow won't be." No, you're comparing.
No, I agree with you.
You're comparing very big apples to oranges.
I think Black Widow comes out and let's just 200. I think easily it is 600 million. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is an event where people go, okay, because that's a family film, and it kind of we to see what the next step is for the MCU, and it's been so long. I think that one. I say the same thing about Wonder Woman too. I think those movies actually do very well if they get released on that. But I just think both companies are too gun shy. They want that. They want that in theaters.
Mm-hmm. They don't want to give up.
Well, I want to ask something about the numbers you were just saying a second ago, because you know me no good with numbers, but they said that 29% of people domestically in America, 29% of people who are the accounts downloaded it, right? And then in the next statement, paid for it. And then in the next statement, it was, which is far and beyond what people watched on free content. But if it's only 29%, doesn't that mean that 71% didn't watch it?
Pulling it back up.
Like,
okay, so let me read this.
Their free content's been two animated movies also, though. So, like, I mean, you can't add that Onward and something else.
So it's nearly 29% of the households that subscribe to Disney Plus purchased it, far surpassing the other popular and free titles on it. They did have a graph that kind of showed it compared to how many people watch it. Like the next closest thing, percentage of U.S. households was Disney Plus. With the title was the Phineas and Ferb movie.
Okay.
Which was like 10% of the households watched that.
I understand where I missed the question now. They're talking about it outperformed any other free singular output thing they put out. I thought they were just talking about free content in general.
Yeah,
So I was like, no, I'm sorry, but 29 is not more than 71. But see, there you go. That's why you got to walk me through this.
No, you're fine. Yeah. Like I said, it's just a different way to work out of it. I know we chased a big squirrel with that, but interesting.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
And we got it all started talking about Black Adam. I honestly think based on the way things are going, filming for first quarter 2021 is more realistic right now to me than the release in November 2021. I know things might be over by then or changed by then, but just where I'm at right now, that's the filming seems more realistic than giving me a release date because everything is getting their release date changed. Like it's still filming, but everything's getting the release date changed. So just for me, I don't know. All right, well, let's take one more real quick break. And then I will see if I can pull Travis in here, and then we will talk.
I'm about to rebuttal Brent and Chris and Travis though before we jump into that. But bring Hines
wait a
on.
minute. How did I get brought into this? Originally, I wasn't brought into this. How am I brought into this?
Because it's something that you guys all three said and chuckled about. You already know. I shot it to you in a text message, but I'm about to lay my foot out here in the rebuttal.
Message him, see if he's ready.
But he's watching us. We know he's a voyeur. That's his kink. We know he just likes to watch.
Us. I think because the Lakers game is on, so I don't think he's watching us. We'll see.
We're not. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
he likes to watch greatness. But I just messaged him to see if he's ready. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a real quick break. Let me check the time right here, so that way it makes it easier for me to do all this later. And folks, we will be right back. All right, and we are back. So we got two more things to talk about tonight. One more thing before we get to the main event, and there's some PlayStation 5 news that's come out this week. So we don't get a whole lot of gaming news on here, but I know that we're all gamers on here. We all like different kinds of things. So, Sarah, are you a big gamer?
I am not, but I have two people in my house that are. But unfortunately,
so you will probably have a PlayStation 5 at some point in time then.
Nope.
No, you're an Xbox girl.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I can.
I do have a PlayStation, but it's like one of the older ones because I liked playing Soul Calibur back in the day. So
nice.
But Ivy, man, I could make her do some crazy stuff.
Well, it's funny because I know Xbox came out with some big news this weekend too, right? But I haven't heard anything about Xbox. Everybody's talking about PlayStation. At least everybody in my circles is talking about PlayStation.
Xbox. I've heard Brian talking about it, and he's on board for getting like the new one. And I want to say it's they're pretty much about the same platform anyways. Yeah. So so that'll make like the fourth Xbox we'll have in the house. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's his platform of choice. So I mean, hey,
I'm strictly PlayStation up in this bitch, so I get it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, talk to me, strictly PlayStation. What do you think, man? Are you pre-ordering one? How long is it going to be before you get one?
No, I never ever immediately get the first one. I will let somebody like Chris and them guys get it, and then 2 months when they have a recall or an update because something junking out on it, and they have to deal with that shit. I'll get it in like 4 months or 6 months when they've got the bugs worked out, and then I'm like, hey, now I'm on it. Let's go.
Get a second generation one.
Everyone likes saying it always refers back to the Red Rings of Death from the 360 era.
Yes.
We had one of those.
And ever since then, it's just like, I gotta wait at that point. It's like, that it happens, but it doesn't happen as often as much anymore.
Which means we used to happen again very soon.
We used to take the cover off of it and we just solder it back together, that little wire, and we'd make it work for at least another year or 6 months. But once you did that, you couldn't turn it back in because they could see you tampered with it.
Yeah.
You'd take it off and find the part that was messed up, and you just take a little piece of solder and drip it on there. That son of a bitch would fire right back up, and you get another 6 months, a year out of it, whatever it would run.
Y'all remember blowing into the cartridge for Nintendo?
Put
your shirt over it,
One
blow into
told
all
us
the
that was
blows.
never going to do anything, yet we figured that out, and it still didn't do anything.
You don't think? Oh, it always fixed mine. You don't think it fixed yours? It had to fix mine. It worked. It worked.
I think we kidded ourselves on that one.
Yeah.
No, do you remember pushing it in, up and down, up and down? So
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All the tricks.
Yeah.
All the tricks. You get the trick the Nintendo.
Hey!
What's up,
Okay,
man?
quick, everyone, bail.
Yeah, bail.
And we're done.
I'm Ryan Reynolds now.
And
We're late to the party, huh?
so we're gonna kick it to Travis now, so he can tell you about our Patreon tiers and what does he like to say? No, I'm just kidding. Keep the lights on, or we candles? No, I'm just
Nathan,
kidding.
I heard you keep candles burning. I said that. Fun fact: I said that the first time because somebody, let's say Greg isn't the super most fond of, said that on a podcast, so I wanted to say it to torment Greg.
Yeah.
Then, lo and behold, he said it the next podcast. So it kind of morphed from that, but it really was.
Gregory. He's a fickle character.
It really was a secret. It really was a secret dig at Greg, and he didn't even really know it. So
Those are the best kind of
also,
jokes.
sweet shirt, Greg.
That big
Sweet
flame.
shirt.
Yeah,
Sweet shirt.
Thank you. But hey, man. So what's up, Travis? We got through most of the show. We got 2 big things to talk about. We're talking a little PlayStation news right now, and then we're gonna hop into the boys. So you haven't been here all night, man. Talking about some PlayStation news. I know you're gonna get one, right?
1 second.
We're getting into
gonna
work
go into
house.
this place.
He's gonna show us his pre-order paperwork.
Your kitchen looks very nice, and we're moving.
No, you didn't see
I
the.
love what you did on the wall.
Yes, yeah. The no pictures. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you shit. What's he got here? Oh, look at this guy.
Two Greg and Nathan.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
10 days now.
They're the ones that are going sober. Sarah.
10
Well,
days now.
To you, you're awesome, and you too, Chris. You're
I
out.
haven't seen you in a while, Travis. So
I'm gonna get one, Greg. I just don't know when. My girlfriend bought me one 2 years ago for Christmas. So, and I've had one before that. I went through 2 PlayStation 3s and 2 PlayStation 4s.
oh,
Good Lord, what'd you do to him?
Gaming that hard, huh?
Blew the hard drive. There was a point, Chris,
too much porn.
where I want to say, I know it was top 10 for NHL in the world for NHL 12. I spent
Jesus,
a
man.
week and a half. I took all my holidays, all my vacation days, took a week and a half and played the game constantly. Like, you had to stay up in the rankings, and then after I gave it up and went back to work, I went right back down. But it was,
1, 2, 3, 4 of us at that point. Wife, kids, everything like that. We could have done it, guys. We all could have been like Travis.
Yes.
I know.
yeah, that's basically that's what's holding you back.
Yeah.
Chris, a meaningful life. That's what's holding you back.
See, I know that's not the real reason your PlayStation broke, though. I play.
No,
I
I
play you in 2K
dropped
right now,
wood.
and y'all should hear him. Sometimes he's like, "I want to throw this fucking controller so bad.
No,
I
okay,
can't
no,
stand it right
no.
now."
No, that's not it. That's not it. I've never broken a controller or anything out of rage. I used to take the PlayStation from the living room to the bedroom for the Blu-ray player, and once in a while, I may have dropped the PlayStation or may have so the hard drive got messed up.
They were a lot
And
tougher
also,
back then.
I will not say that PlayStation 3, I bought the original PlayStation 3. It cost me almost $800 for the PlayStation.
Good.
An extra game. Yeah, when it first came out, Nathan, I just came home from having all kinds of oil sands money, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I was like, yeah, sure. I bought a patio set, like an outdoor patio set, and put it inside and just game.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes, he was like Joey Chandler on Friends after they got robbed. Just yard furniture in the house.
That PlayStation had problems, and this certain piece would burn out, and you could fix it with a glue gun, but it would only last like 4 weeks to a month to 2 months. So, like, you didn't know, but that was the problem with the old fat PlayStation 3. So I won't blame that one, but I've definitely been responsible for 2 other destructions of consoles. I'm very not delicate.
Kinda
Not
hard
delicate
on 'em.
thing.
This one's going to stay in one spot there, right? The PS5.
Yeah.
We've learned.
But I'm interested. What do you guys think about with digital, the whole digital over hard, like physical copy? You can use the PlayStation 4 for the DVD, Blu-ray player if you want. But I mean, do you really want to go through the hassle of having both of them hooked up? I know some people already have DVD players and Blu-ray players, but that's what I use my PlayStation 4 for. Is that so? Are you willing to? What do you think? Just paying extra $100 to have that feature, but you can still get the games digitally with the other one, right? That's still the option.
You can. It's interesting. The more information that's come up the last couple of days, since I think that they've, as we like saying on the show with a number of season finales, they failed to stick the landing. Sony really failed to stick the landing on this one. Besides botching the whole pre-order thing, botching when it's releasing, how it's releasing. One of the things that came out was they have their PlayStation Plus service. They're streaming games at that point. And they released a whole bunch of games that are going to be there day and date when it's out as an incentive for people buying the PS5. These, including God of War, a number of other big titles will be. Well, they answered the question today that are they going to have their newer games premiere on that service day and date compared to Xbox's Game Pass, and they have said we will not.
No chance.
We will not. That is not in our plan. They say it's unsustainable. But that has been one of the biggest things that has made Xbox kind of stand out with their Game Pass at that point.
I'll be getting the one that plays disc and everything because fun fact, the new Avengers game's the first one I've ever did just digitally. And I've been playing the shit out of that, and I beat it.
I've noticed that, Mr. Nathan. I've noticed you playing that quite a bit.
Yeah, I beat the game, but I haven't tried online yet.
It was like I looked at it a couple weeks ago.
Better than me, Nathan. I'm only barely halfway through.
He finally accepted my friend request on PlayStation.
Yeah, from 2 years ago.
But I remember I looked at it, and it was like last time active 3 months ago. I was like, oh yeah, well this guy never even turns out to PlayStation.
Either one of you have friended me.
I couldn't find you. I don't know how to work all that stuff. I'm waiting for you to find me.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to find me.
But I'm debating because I got a pre-order in for the digital and the disc because I haven't. I'm leaning towards digital. I've always done disc. Now with the PlayStation, I've mainly been a PlayStation boy for their exclusives. I play my third parties on the Xbox because I've always thought it looks better on Xbox and it will continue to look better on Xbox, but you can't beat this PlayStation exclusives.
No, like the Spider-Man game is one that I probably want to get the console for.
And I have the fewest amount of PlayStation disc with it. Like the one thing I'm debating is I have Avengers on disc. If I stick with the digital, yes, I'm going to have to rebuy it. My saves will continue on, but that's one that'll hurt. I'm probably going to beat Ghost of Tsushima before it releases. That would be a factor, but I'm debating. But you're right. I think that's one of the reasons why there's more physical disc ones out there is because you're right. People use that as their Blu-ray player, and I think that's why they have a lot of those. That's the quote unquote, and I put in quotes, easier to acquire during the pre-order process, and the digitals have become very, very scarce. So
for me, it just depends how much memory they have. Because like the biggest, I know Travis always tells me to get an external hard drive and hook up to it. And I should, but my biggest thing is every time I get a new game, I have to delete something off my PlayStation to be able to play that game.
Me too.
And it's like
wouldn't the external hard drive solve that problem?
Yes, it would. But I mean,
to a guy that you just said it was 3 months before the last time I checked it in. Why am I going to buy an external hard drive when I get a game, I play it for a while, and then I don't play it for 6 months?
Right.
But here's
the
thing to your point, Greg. And Nathan, at that point, you both have said before that you're the type of gamers that your baby will buy maybe 1 or 2 games a year, if that, and you'll play basically over and over again at that point. So you really, you will definitely have the room on there for both systems that will give you those games on there. They've kind of built it as such. So, but unless you're like a hardcore that you need to have 20, 30 games that you're playing, within a year. That's when an external comes into play. But if you're only playing 2 or 3 games a year, then you should be fine.
Well, you know what
One thing, Greg. Spoiler alert: you can have more than just video games on that external hard drive. you could have music.
So much porn.
Movies.
Just so much filth. So much filth on. We know why your PlayStation's broke. We got it, Travis. We know.
I had external hard drive that broke as well.
Did.
That's a table.
But no, I was gonna say, you know how I fixed my hard drive
So happy
my
I
memory
jumped
problem? I signed up for PlayStation Plus, and with PlayStation Plus, you get cloud storage for your games.
You do.
So, and you get like 24 free games a year. That's how I got NBA 2K. So, I mean, it's actually a pretty good deal with PlayStation Plus. So, I mean, that's how I fixed it. I was like, oh, cool, I get cloud storage of this? Awesome.
And I think that when it comes down to it, besides botching the pre-order like stuff that was supposed to be the next day, and the next day, the only one who really technically released the next day was Amazon, and they just sent a whole bunch of emails to people saying, like Amazon always does with console releases, oh, sorry, we oversold it, you're probably not going to get it on release day. So, Xbox had a nice tag that night to PlayStation. They basically said, here's when we're releasing, you already know that, here's what the hype is. Oh yeah, guys, don't worry, we're going to tell you when on the 22nd you're going to be able to pre-order this. Basically saying, hey, we're not Sony, we're going to tell you. And they basically also told all retailers that they will, if they don't hold to that date and that time, they will lose out on the number of ones that they're able to sell. So they're trying to clamp down on what the mistakes Sony made on this one.
That makes sense. Okay.
Oh my.
Well, Nathan, I think the only thing I wanted to hear about was the Harry Potter game you were talking about earlier.
And my rebuttal to Chris and Brent and Snail.
And that.
But,
yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's start with that.
All right.
Yeah, I don't even need to hear the Harry Potter game. Let's go with that.
They were talking about Love and Thunder, and they were going on to that, and they were like,
the imitation.
No, they said that, well, they were talking about the progression of Thor's character, and how, like, Thor in the first Avenger, whatever, and that Ragnarok was a stark different stuff, which I agree with, and that is on the bottom of my list personally. But they were saying, like, you don't have to like it, whatever, you're going to go see it or whatever, which this is not necessarily the truth, because myself, like, personally, unless something really draws me in, I will probably be skipping the next interpretation of the Waititi and Hemsworth Thor. But that doesn't mean that I'm out. Like, if playing the character like all dumb and stupid like in those movies makes him where he's having fun and he wants to stay for Hemsworth, that's fine. Because eventually we're going to get another movie like Infinity War, where another director's going to get a hold of him and make him a total badass again. And I'm like, all right, that's my Thor. Like, so basically what I'm saying is I don't, like, whatever it takes to keep him in there, I'm totally fine. I'm happy. And if he's great and happy with Taika and like they're making their 1-2 punches, and maybe it'll be a gajillion-dollar movie. Whatever, that's fine. It's just not my slice of tea. And I know that, and I love that, like, and like Hemsworth's like, yeah, I'm going to keep playing as Thor, as long as I can do it. Well, you're not going to be Thor after this next movie. We know that Natalie Portman's getting that hammer. We know she's going to be Thor in the next team-up movie. So, you're going to be Odin's son? Which I still think is silly that he passes his name on. Either way, I don't care. Whatever it takes to get Hemsworth to keep him around, and if that's with Taika and Love and Thunder, that's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. That's just not my personal taste for the character. So if it gets him to stay, that's fine, because in the next Avengers movie or Civil War, whatever he shows up in again, there's going to be another director like the Russos that are going to take the character and most likely have him a little more towards my taste skin. So I'm fine. Whatever gets to keep him around there is totally fine. But unless I see something in the trailer that really draws me in, I personally am probably going to skip Love and Thunder.
Okay, so your rebuttal is that what we said, you're still going to see it. You're saying that you're not going to see it. If it doesn't get you, okay.
But I also wanted to explain, like, why I am glad that he's staying. So, like, if working with him rejuvenated, good. Like, hell yeah, I'm not crapping on that. Like, good to go. But I don't personally like that. Yes.
No.
Yes.
I understand, and I think we acknowledge that why Ragnarok is a very divisive film for fans at that point, for people who like the character. I know Greg also has expressed that he's not a fan of the portrayal of Thor versus what's in the comics. So no, we get that, and we totally acknowledge that at that point, but I just wanted to make sure which part you were rebuttaling. Yeah. So I understand that.
Go ahead, Travis.
Okay, he's got a hand raised.
Mr. Bone. Mr. Bone.
I basically blanked Dave because I have two questions. When I heard Nathan say something, I have two questions. That's it.
Okay.
how do you slice tea, and what kind of tea is it? Because like you said, it's not my slice of tea.
Well,
I was like, is he freezing his tea and then cutting it?
So
Like
you've never
green
had tea ice cubes? You've never had tea ice cubes that you could get, you freeze, you could cut?
Oh, you're
Come on.
grasping at straws right
You
now.
know, we're gonna go to our next ad. We gotta use
Sorry,
this
Nathan.
money. We gotta use this money to pay for the sliced tea that feeds Nathan.
You can slice open tea bags. You can do. It comes in tea leaves that can be sliced. Like, come on.
I'm trying to think now. I enjoyed Ragnarok. A couple jokes like the Thor spinning. I think he spun like a little 1 extra 2 line. That's kind of like sending a Mandalorian when you're shooting at the
style.
It kind of went on a little bit longer than I enjoyed it for the first little bit, and then it kind of went on a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
But that's minor quibbles. I enjoyed Thor's character arc. I didn't enjoy him as much when the Russos got him and made him Fat Thor. I didn't enjoy that nearly as much.
That was gross.
But like in Ragnarok, I really enjoyed it, and he went through some stuff, and still, I thought that was a great movie. You got Doctor Strange in there as well, and he's basically by himself now. So I'm so curious. Like Nathan said, I know that Jane's going to take over as Thor, but that's in the comics too, current, and that just brings back to something that the Flash TV show EP said, and he's like, there's a whole generation of people that have gotten into the comics from Godspeed, like they're reading it right now, and they watch the TV show, and they're like, there's nothing, that's not my villain, like I can't associate it with it. So they want to try and bring some current things in. I think the same thing goes here as well.
Sarah, I want to hear Sarah.
Sure.
Sarah's making some motions.
Yeah.
Well, I told you guys, especially like the whole Love and Thunder thing. I'm just not excited about it. I was just not a big fan of Natalie Portman. Period. As
Thank
no, I mean, not as
Virtual high five.
as Thor. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, no, I'm a big fangirl. Love most of it. I mean, to me, Thor is Thor, and I mean, if it's in the comic, then so be it. But she's just.
You don't give away your name.
I'm just not.
Ray Skywalker all over again.
I'm just not excited for that now, because it's probably not going to be one that I would see in the theater. If it came in the theater, now I would probably see it when it came on DVD or Disney Plus or whatever. I'd see it then, but I mean, I'm just not super excited about it.
That's fair.
I mean, I think if it was probably anybody else, now I'm excited about Kat Dennings coming back. I loved her character.
Yeah.
But I'm just I'm just not excited. I'm sorry. That's just prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Greg, don't you be waving.
Greg and the Batman. Greg and the Batman.
But Sarah, you don't have any expectations too, so that's a pretty good thing. Like you're going in with low expectations, so maybe it does blow you away. You know,
and maybe so, because honest to God, when the first Thor movie, when I first heard about that, I wasn't excited about it. I don't think I saw that one in the theater, but then I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So I mean, I know there's been a lot of movies where I didn't think I would like it, and I go in and it blew me away.
Could be a reverse crisis thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, but I'm just not excited. Natalie Portman
Still haven't got over that one. We're already a year past it. I still haven't got over it.
No, Sarah, your sentiments are exactly what I'm thinking. I'm the same way you are. I don't think I'm not saying it's going to be a terrible movie. I'm just not excited for it at all. For me, when we're talking about Thor, in his 3 movies, I liked Ragnarok. I thought Ragnarok was a good movie.
I love Ragnarok.
It just wasn't my Thor. Like for me, my Thor is the scene in Wakanda, at the Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity Gauntlet, whatever the first movie was, and then the first time he's fighting the ice giants on the planet, with against Laufey. That's my Thor against Laufey, man. Like that is an awesome scene. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of Thor. And I know every scene's not going to be action-packed like that, but the attitude is more or less what I'm talking about. And they definitely changed that. Like I said, I still liked it, just not as much as I did in those particular situations with Thor. Moving forward with Jane Foster as Thor, I'm cool with that. I'm not as big of a fan of Natalie Portman, the character, because for some reason, I just don't like the stuff she's in a lot of times. I don't know why. She's very beautiful. It's just something about her acting. I don't know. It just gets me, and I'm not excited for the movie. I'm going to see it. Hopefully it's going to be really good. I'm sure it's going to be a fine movie. Hopefully it's going to surprise me big time, but I could, I don't even look up news about this movie really, just because when it comes out, I'll see it. Like, I'll see it.
It's like when it's supposed you're kind of like, meh. Yeah.
Oh,
and I don't like to feel that way.
Marvel's going to put no restrictions on him for that movie, other than the few head points that Feige puts in there, whether it be we need this to make it connect to the overall story. You know what I mean? Like whatever that be, small piece. Like there'll be something in there that leads into his little directives, but he's going to let him go off the leash again. And that, like Travis said, which is like Taika's signature thing, is just that uncomfortable, drawn on, way too long quote humor. Like there's going to be more of the chain spinnings and the like the idea that the guy's talking about the trying to shoot the can in Star Wars. Like there's gonna be more of that stuff, and there's gonna be more Hulk wiener and dumb stuff like that, and Valkyrie falling over drunk off like that. That's all fine. Like situational is fine, but when he is intentional, like which is fine. Like that's fine. You need slices, especially when a universe that big. I just don't care for his style that he's injecting into it, which is the action comedy, and now this one's going to be like the love the rom-com with a little bit of action, and that's just, to me, I personally don't like the way he does it, so I will personally skip this one. But I'm not saying that he shouldn't do it, because like you said, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there that's like, this is great, it's exactly what I need, that's fine, and that's fine. Not everything has to be for me, and I don't expect everything to be, so I just know that my taste is done now. So, could a trailer come out and I see something in a trailer and I go, oh my God, like I've got to see it because of this? Absolutely. But right now I have little to no interest because I know that his style doesn't match my taste.
So when you say skip it, do you mean like altogether skip it or just not see it, just not see it in theaters?
Depending on what I need. I only saw Captain Marvel in pieces because I knew there was nothing that I needed. There's nothing I needed to do. It did nothing. I got my basics from. I didn't need to see it in the theater. I found out that the Tesseract was a main player, but it really didn't do anything. The Avengers kind of got their name from her, and basically at the very end, she shows up to be like, "All right, guys, I'm ready to help out." The only reason why I saw that movie is because my wife had it on or whatever, and I sat down and watched the parts of it. But I technically could have skipped that altogether, and I would have been fine. I've never put it back in to rewatch it. Okay. And Thor Ragnarok, I've only watched one time, and I've caught it on TNT because it's not my style. Like I've seen it, in passing, but I don't go out of my way. I don't care. I know what I need out of it, and I'm fine with it.
That's interesting because I would think
Ragnarok.
that. Yeah, I mean, I can understand not seeing it in theaters, but just not seeing it at all. It's like, well, at least
guys, I still haven't seen Joker, and I own the movie, and I know what happens in it. I don't
send
need
me that copy of that
me.
movie. Give me the digital copy if you're not going to watch it. Like, give me the digital.
I guess what I have it on is the digital copy. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's there's just some things that, like I can know and just be like, all right, I know. Birds of Prey, I still haven't seen it yet, and like it's just like. I know what happens. I've seen bits and pieces of Birds of Prey, but I haven't sat down and sit and watch it. I'm like, whatever. I know what happens. I can go into the Suicide Squad and be like, all right, I'm ready to rock and roll. I don't know why I'm like I am, guys, but I am. Like so, to me, I probably will skip this unless I hear that there's just like something amazing in here that I need to see or that draws me in. Whatever. Taika's style does not fit my taste, and I'm okay with that. Not everything.
And you know he's supposed to be doing another Star Wars movie, right?
I know, but see, there's that's very different because in the gallery of The Mandalorian, Taika said that one thing that everybody said too. The reason why he's a good fit there is he said that he had guys like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to reel him in, which in Marvel there was no reeling in. And the reason why Favreau and Filoni got to is because it's their show and it's not the Taika show where he can go out there where
but if he does his movie, they can be there to
reel him in.
No,
Sarah raises a good point.
I'm objecting to that. Nathan. Kevin Feige, he definitely oversees Marvel far more and for far much longer than Filoni and Favreau. They only just started.
It's their show. They brought him in to direct one episode. This is technically it's the Kevin Feige show, but we've heard nothing but. And I would tend to agree with you, Travis. I would tend to agree with you because. But in the last,
him getting his own movie. That's what's
in the last 10 years, or the last not 10. Not 10. What is it? The last
6 or 7 movies. Like we heard all about it, like that Marvel had so much so that Patty Jenkins is like, I'm out because they were telling me don't worry about the action and this and that. I got it. Well, now we know, like with Ryan Coogler and going forward, like they're giving them a lot more freedom is what I'm getting at. And that started with James Gunn and all those. They basically make your movie, make it however you want.
Nathan, are they giving them that freedom, or are they telling all of us that they're giving them that freedom, and our directors telling us that they're giving them that freedom? Like you don't know how much freedom they're actually given. Like you really don't.
I'm gonna give Brent a little credit with this one. I'm gonna give Brent a little credit with this one because he's right. Guardians and Black Panther are not the same movies. They're vastly different. I'm not saying and there's two different storytelling.
I'm just saying, like, if let's say he wanted to kill a major character, he wouldn't be able to make that decision on his own, like a super major character. Without first consulting Feige and talking to him, any director.
But my comparison with the Star Wars and him only directing an episode of that is in his episode, and I'm not even talking about that. It's like if he goes, I'm gonna have the Mando with his cape pulled over his head and get a wedgie and run around in circles because I think it's gonna be hilarious. Kevin Feige then gets to go, no, you're not embarrassing. Like, that doesn't fit my story. But in the Marvel universe, if he wants to give Thor a wedgie and put a fucking cape over his head and make him look like a complete R word, he'll do it because they're gonna go, whatever, it doesn't matter, do what you want.
I don't
because they're not going to kill him. It's going to be do what you want for comedy. It's going to be that's just my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's just how I feel, especially within the recent years of how different a lot of these movies have been. Of like Black Panther got to do kind of what they wanted. Guardians broke the mold of you can be just do whatever kind of silly thing you want. And Taika turned the flame up on that. He took whatever silliness you want to do and turned it up to 11. Like I said, literally. Seeing Hawks, Ween walking around and then falling into garbage and all. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking out of turn, but I think that's how it is.
But they were talking about the movie. First of all, he's rumored to have a movie, get a movie for himself.
Yes, I know he does have a movie. He does have a movie next.
So that's not.
But that's gonna also be different too, because supposedly this movie's it's not gonna tie into the Skywalker saga at all. It'll be do what you want, Mr. Taika, and that's totally different. Because you're just set in the parameters of the Star Wars universe, but he can create whatever character he wants. He can create a character that's super serious. He can create a character that's yuckity yuck. He can create, a team of characters. Like, that's totally different. He can build his own Star Wars in the context of you have hyperdrives, you have warp speed, you have droids, you have light and dark that you could use if you wanted to, depending on where you set it. That's a little different.
And the third thing is what Nathan said, they're not as covered. I normally will check out every comic book movie just because it's such a small genre and niche, and then just make decisions if they're terrible. Even terrible comic book movies, but I can watch Fantastic Four, like F4, and be like, okay, this was terrible. Yeah. But just looking at it, like the bare bones, looking at the bare bones of it, there could have been a good movie there. There could have been a good movie with the cast they had. It was so terribly executed, story so terribly, just the cast alone, I would have paid money to see as those characters, and they just messed it up.
I actually watched that movie a couple of weeks ago, and it was.
You're talking about the newest one with Michael B. Jordan in it?
Stick?
Yeah.
I didn't mind that movie.
It
wasn't great, but I didn't mind it. I mean, I'd watch it again if it was on.
Normally short movies are fast paced.
Yeah.
This one was drawn out to a race to the finish line in the last 15 minutes.
Well, my son's been on like a Dr. Doom kick, so I mean, he liked the other one, so I don't think he hasn't seen this new one, so he would probably freak out about that one and be like, "That's not Dr. Doom."
I would say that's the one thing they got really right in the last one, at least the look and the
None shall lay hands on Doom.
Like that. I forgot what we were. Oh, we were talking about PlayStation 5. That's how we got here.
Yeah,
we kind of got here, y'all. Check that one out.
We
kind of.
I gave my rebuttal, and then that's how we got on the Taika train, and we went down whole rabbit hole of the MCU and stuff.
We kept a vapor trail like Superman.
Yes.
So, how to get
he can see those, Greg. He can see those.
He can see those.
Right.
With his spacesuit on.
Make it the new
with his spacesuit.
That's right.
Rocket boots, Nathan. Rocket boots.
Can't use freeze breath either. That don't exist in that universe.
Don't talk to me about electricity. Oh my!
I just gotta say, if I'm Earth, like Cadmus, I'll plan to do is strap Superman to a rocket and send him off in space because he'll just suffocate in the show.
I'm just building a giant electrical field and just, like Greg said, just shocking the shit out of him.
Yep.
Maybe that's what they got the idea at the season finale of Titans. They watched a lot of Superman.
Oh, damn it. That's why Superman couldn't help out.
Hey, you know what? Technically, it's canon now, I guess. Right? Technically, it's canon.
Definitely, Chris, put some respect on that Max original.
That's next year. That's when it becomes a Max original.
Yeah, you missed us talking about that, and I actually didn't mean to talk about it before. But anyway, all right, cool. Well,
I have one question before we start the last.
Sure.
Just one.
Just one.
Gotta be quick.
What will you guys be getting the physical release of Death in the Family solely so you can do the picking?
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious.
Okay, and I know why you did that. I'm gonna rebuttal, not rebuttal.
Because Greg was like, why not just watch them all?
Listen. If your only choice, this is where I was saying, if your only choice was to be those 4 choices, that one moment where you choose what happens to Robin, okay? If that's your only choice, isn't that the same thing as if they gave you all 4 movies and said, okay, you can watch this version, this version, this version, this version? Right? If that's your only now, if you have more choices, if that choice leads on to 2 other choices you can make and it changes that way, that's different. But if those are your only 4 choices, then just give me all 4 movies and I'll watch all 4 movies. Why do I need to pick in the middle of the movie which version I want to watch? Let's just give me the version of the movie and I'll watch it.
Support this new feature.
Maybe you want to watch that one version of the movie, let it sit with you, let it resonate, think about it, and then the next day go, okay, now let's see what happens if we would have went this way.
And I can do that if you give me all 4 versions of the movie. I can watch this version today, and tomorrow I can sit with it, and tomorrow I can watch the next version.
Greg just wants instant gratification.
Your decisions have consequences, Greg. Your decisions have consequences.
I like when Greg says they took that from Big. I said, dude, they've had that idea around before Big.
Yeah.
I remember I had an Elmo book that had that. It was like Choose Your Own Adventure Elmo and shit. So that was like way back then.
Yeah. Well, and like I'm saying, if it comes to a point where you can, like he says, where there's 48 different possibilities based on you picking this one, now your next choice can be this and this. That's different. But if it's just those 4 choices,
but I think we need to support
Greg,
this.
Why are you being a wet blanket?
Yeah, we need to support this to get that. So everyone order it on Amazon and make Greg deliver it to your place.
I'm going to the store for it.
Or call me and ask me why it's been sitting in the city for 3 weeks. That I don't.
Thank you for that last question, Greg.
All right, that's okay. I saved myself. I felt a little jab on the chin. I was like, oh, okay.
Sure.
All right, cool. Well, we got one more thing to talk about, and that is The Boys. We talked about episodes 1 through 4 last week. Episode 5 came out yesterday. I was watching it last night with my wife. For some reason, my wife refuses to watch this show. I think because it's superheroes. Mm-hmm. But I told her, I was like, this is like one of the top shows in America right now. Like everybody likes the show.
Superheroes?
Like even yeah, exactly. Even if you don't like superheroes, people are liking the show. And she was like, I'm not interested in it. And I was sitting there watching I watched 4 last night and then 5 today. And I noticed that she like would drop her phone and start to watch. Pay attention, and I give her a couple minutes. I'd be like, "You're interested, huh?" And she'd be like, "No," and put her phone back up. And a couple minutes later, I'd see her pulling her phone down, like watching. I was like, "Just watch the show with me." I was like, "You obviously like it. Just watch it." But she doesn't want to watch it, but I'm going to get her to eventually. But anyway, The Boys, season 5. No, I'm doing what Sarah did last week now.
Sorry.
Episode 5, season 2. Sarah, start us off. The Boys. What do you think? Cover me.
That's what's so funny. It's like I don't know. As the seasons, as episodes go in this season, I'm starting to like Homelander more. I mean, he was like one of those guys.
Homelander.
Well, I mean, the first season, I'm just like, this guy. I mean, can somebody just like laser him? I mean, he's just crazy. But now having Stormfront in there, she's really turning out to be a hell of a lot more diabolical than he could ever think to be. Because she's just more.
She's playing the long game.
Yeah, she's more cerebral. I mean, she's playing like this dude. She's playing this dude hardcore. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh!
Especially at the end of the episode, she's definitely playing him hardcore.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, she's just. I mean, how do you get lasered like that in more ways than one? Then you just,
Ron, we got 2 right there. Darn it.
I mean, it was just like she's. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure this chick out, and
But that'd be the only
what's
way
her
I ever got
end
bikini waxed is just like Homelander. Take it, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Whoa.
And-
I don't want to
and
have
the
that
one
image
thing-
of you there, Nathan. I'm sorry, but thanks for.
This is snowball. This
haunting
is
my
snowball.
dreams.
Right. This
And the other
roll
thing I
out of control.
noticed was Black Noir. I mean, was it just me, or was he just
Super
kind of
civil
played as a kind of a guard dog, basically? Because
Hitman, yeah.
Well, I mean, what even that? Because I mean, he literally was called off by Edgar, like, and I'm like, okay, well, because I was kind of hoping a little bit more. I'm hoping to see more of his character. Because that's Black
for being
War,
this-
Snake Eyes, whatever you want to call him.
Right. For being this world's Batman, he's terrible at his job. How he's just in broad daylight on that roof, barely peeking over all
Yeah.
black. I'm like, what is happening? Batman, Bruce Wayne would be he just would not be happy.
I mean, I think it'd be a little bit more shady. I mean, a little more covert, but obviously not. But I mean, he got called off pretty quick, though. I mean, that was like give him
I got a
fun.
feeling I know why, but go ahead.
What do you think Vought has on him? Because Homelander don't give a crap about whatever Vought wants him to do. Like, he's just going to do whatever he wants.
Mhm.
And same thing with like Maeve, really to an extent, and A-Train. Like, these people don't really listen to Vought, but Black Noir is.
I've got a theory.
What's your hot take?
What's that? What's that?
In the comics, Black Noir is a clone of Homelander. I think in this series, he is a clone of the Vought CEO, the one that literally had the camera, or like his brother or something. I think that he is related or part of his DNA from him, and that's why he is. Like, I think they're going to it's going to be like a callback to the origin from the book, but I think they're going to switch it up because obviously he's got a different build than. Okay, first of all, I'd love it if they pulled the mask off and it's Anthony Starr, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be the John Carlos Esposito's character's name. I can't think of it. But
Mr. Edward.
Yes, Edgar, Mr. Edgar. I think it's going to be either a clone of him or kind of like a Superboy situation where some of his DNA, some of Homelander's DNA put together or something like that. I think that's going to be the call out.
That's a good theory. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And which is why he's the guard dog and listened immediately to what he had to say because he's either his clone, like clone twin, or it's his, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why.
I can't believe we didn't lead with the joke, though. I'm really disappointed. Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Hit us with the joke, Chris. Hit us with the joke.
So I did at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
No one.
And it went right there.
It went right over
Yeah, I wasn't paying any attention.
I failed you. I failed you for a second time today.
Hey,
giving spoilers before I even got to watch. Yes, do you like those new lines that Josh punched up, and the whole thing with A-Train trying to fix the lines.
Yes,
you definitely have some Snyder fans and some Ray Fisher fans on this show. It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they said they took inspiration from Snyder's Dark for the first one, like, and people were saying for season 1 they kind of thought they were taking jabs at Snyder, being like, "Oh, we saw what Snyder did," but I don't think so. I think there's almost like an homage to it, and it's like, well, this is what Snyder tried to do, but like here, like we're gonna do it too, but we're not. It's not gonna be Superman, so these guys like it.
Well, Nathan, they're deconstructing these characters as well. It's just they're not deconstructing superheroes. They're just deconstructing these terrible people. So it's the same kind of premise. It's just different characters to do it with.
Dawn of the Seven cracks me up too.
Logo.
I love it. The logo, everything. Yeah, I love it.
Man, like Homelander is messing with Maeve so much too.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and she's gonna start fighting back. I mean, I don't
She's ready.
quite know
We're
what
good.
she's gonna do, but I mean,
Good.
she's got to
go to the deep. Apparently,
Well, she said she's going to take him
Get
down,
rid of
right?
the deep. I hate the deep.
Yeah. He gets kind of douchier every episode.
Not even that. It's just like his character's just.
I'm just over him. I'm over him.
Okay. Just calling it now. End of the season, you're not gonna have to worry because Homelander's gonna kill at least 4 or 5 of these.
I agree.
Like they're gonna try to team up to oppose Homelander.
Oh, but that was a really cool sequence when he dream lasered everyone. I was like, oh,
I thought he snapped. I was like, holy crap.
I was like,
totally believable. Like totally believable that he did that. But
I think it was the first time that he would do something diabolical like that, and I'd be like, yes, I'm all about it.
Well,
And
no,
I was
not
like,
the first time. He let a whole plane of people go crashing down.
No, I'm just saying for that particular scene, that particular scene, what was building up for him to layers of all these people, I was like, oh my God, finally! I'm just sitting there like, and I was actually disappointed when it wasn't real.
What I enjoyed more was him killing the last Airbender guy and being like, and missing the other person that was hid behind the cloth. That was hung up. Like, ooh, oh, yeah. And he takes off.
He's like, what a dick too. He goes, oh, fucking country, they're starving to death, but they got cell phones. I'm like, what a dick.
One guy with a cell phone.
Oh, you know someone would say that. That's totally believable.
I know. Totally believable. Yes, totally.
So the crazy, not the craziest, one of the craziest things I saw in this episode, and I just couldn't believe. I was like, holy crap! When I saw it, when girl grabbed dude's ear and ripped his face off.
Ripped his face.
I was like, holy shit!
I wanted a close up of that guy being on the ground, being like, all right, like all face messed up. I don't know why I know that's sick, but that's what I wanted.
What were you saying, Chris?
That's a new face for radio right there.
Yeah.
That's
my
mark,
dude. Like, what a way to die. I mean, oh my gosh. Makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Hey, look at the bright side. No more shaving ever.
That's
See, look, there's always a silver lining.
The other side
always.
of your cheek, you know.
Hey, they can do the remake with the man without a face, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, they can just take some of your butt skin and put it on your face. And
Then
you'll be butt face forever.
Yeah.
Like on South Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Kitty on South Park. What'd y'all think about?
Could be a Balchinian. You know,
I talk about the science on this podcast. I talk about the science.
So we have no more doppelganger.
No, I'm with you, Greg. I finished watching episode 4 today too, so it blends together. But that was at the end of episode 4.
Oh, was it? Okay, I thought it was the beginning of 5. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Doppelganger. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. So what do y'all think about this insanely rough sex they're having? Him and Stormfront are having.
Love it.
That was crazy.
Mr. Snell was calling it the day before.
Yeah.
Talk about giving a new meaning to Pound Town. Hey,
Smallville did it first.
Did they do it like that?
The PG version. The PG version. But same sort of premise. It was Clark and Lana actually had powers, and they got together. They were like that kind of physical.
Did they make thunderclaps?
Yeah, they made Smallville. They made earthquakes in Smallville. They actually made earthquakes in Smallville.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I like how they wore their top hats of their costumes too. Because they're so narcissistic. They wanted to see the cape still on them. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And so, what do you think this means in the future? She's still playing him, right?
She's manipulating shit.
She's gonna manipulate him till the end. But
I also want to give Homelander. He is being manipulated, but I think he knows, and the way he lasered her chest or whatever, it tickles her. I think this is literally getting a feel for what she can take, because in this universe he is our Superman. He's never met anybody that's the match or stronger than him. Maeve would be the closest, and obviously he's got her on a leash. But he saw he lasered her, she goes, oh, it hurts, and she liked the pain. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he's getting a limit for her pain tolerance by giving her pleasure with it. Like I said, he's not as dumb as he looks. She's definitely manipulating him, but I think all this will come back to where when he really loses it, because we know this confrontation's coming, whether it's at the end of this season or next season, we know this showdown is going to happen, and I think he's kind of remembering. And then she may as well be prodding him too, but I think she thinks she's got him so wrapped around her finger that she's going to almost underestimate Homelander.
You could very well, because I don't think he shares her ideals at all. I don't think he really cares what anybody is like. A lot of times he just what they can do for him. That's all he really cares about.
What a dick! Oh, we've got A-Train, and he's black, and we got Black Noir, and he's a thing. So we got those covered. I'm like, what a dick! He's talking about we got a gay, a black, and a non-identified. Yep, we got them covered. Like, what are you doing?
That sounds very typical of a certain group of people. That sounds.
Yeah.
Find out. Oh, gosh,
I'm just curious with the whole Liberty, that whole backstory.
Yes.
I'm just curious how that's going to play out, because that's going to be something between her and
that And that Compound V, Nathan, does crazy things for different people.
I've got my theory.
Let's hear it. Don't be shy now.
How do you think Compound V came about?
Ooh, came from her.
Liberty's blood?
How do you think Homelander
Fucking
came
fantastic.
So she's a natural, you think? I guess.
She's like the original OG mutant. She's the apocalypse of this world, you're saying?
I wouldn't
ground
say
zero, subject 1?
I would say that's pretty darn close.
Yeah, because
Really?
she's
God
been
damn it,
around.
now look at my
so
mind.
You don't really know how old she is, so.
What do you think her end game is, though? Like, I just don't. I'm trying
Purity
to
of
figure
the
it
race.
out. You think so?
Mm-hmm. Like the way she was talking to A-Train, I'm like, whoo! I'm like, A-Train, I know your heart's going down, but I really wanted him to just run over, karate kick the shit out of her. Real
Not
fast.
just
Like,
A-Train. Look at Starlight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious what her end game with her is.
Well, Starlight, I hate to say it, but like I thought she was like gonna be this beast mode from like season 1, but like boy, she's really getting overpowered in this. Like she's cowering a lot, and I wanted to see her kind of like even if Stormfront beats her, I want to see like that superpower beat down to where Starlight goes and just slaps her around just for a little bit before she gets her ass kicked at least.
I thought that was so funny whenever they're in the trailer and she does her little light flicker thing, and Stormfront's like, "Oh, that's so cute." Like,
well, we know Kimiko's coming for her, and I'm hoping Kimiko is like I hope she gets some V or something, or eats her Wheaties or something, because she needs to Hulk out if she wants to take on Stormfront.
Doesn't it look
See
like
what
they
she
have
did to
the
that
same
person's
powers?
face?
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like they have the same regenerative powers.
Yeah, did you see the gunfire she took, and she just kept walking? It was like, yeah, I don't know.
That and Black Noir, dude.
She threw that gun right in the
How
guy's
about
eye.
our little preview of Lamplighter?
I know, I saw
What?
that. Mhm.
I didn't see it. I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
Did I
you
miss
did.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who do
did
you
you see
think
the guy played the lighter that was
Stormfront's talking to? That's Lamplighter.
yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Remember, we know
retired one.
he's been cast already for next
Yeah.
season as it. So
Yeah, because they
Hold on.
retired him
Who
in the
is it?
beginning of season
it's
1, right?
Lamplighter.
I know, but which character was it in the show?
The one that Starlight replaced.
Yeah, I know that.
oh.
But where was the reference in this show to it? I heard them say Lamplighter a couple times, but I didn't. You're talking about the guy who's been cast as Lamplighter was in this episode. Where that's what I'm asking.
Who's Stormfront is talking to on the phone about?
Yeah.
Flicking the lighter.
Jimmy Olsen? Jimmy
That
Olsen?
Zippo. That
Yeah.
Zippo that was
Iceman,
flicking
maybe
around.
Iceman.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it?
Okay.
Stone.
he
Oh,
was in-
yeah, it was Iceman. Yeah.
Iceman.
His brother was Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Huh.
John Ashmore. I think it's John Ashmore, right?
Don't ask me.
Yeah.
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 Huh. Okay. I didn't catch that. I mean,
Yeah. You know, when I saw him on there, I went, where do I know him from? I said, he's another secret. I had to look at him like, oh my God, it's Iceman. He's old now. He's not a young X-Men.
They do grow. But
They
yeah,
do
man.
grow.
Season 2 is right on par with season 1 for me. It keeps me on my toes. I'm interested to see what happens next. I haven't read the book, so I have no real knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah,
So everything
me
I see
either.
is new. I like Stormfront. As you know, I'm interested to see what happens with her and Homelander in the future. I don't think Homelander is a character they're going to write out of the show in any kind of way, even if it's like at the end of the season. But I do think that she's going to beat him somehow, some way.
I think there's going to be kind of like a back and forth between them because, like I said, with their powers, they're pretty much tit for tat. So she's probably going to win this round. He'll come back, probably win this
It's
one,
all
and
tit
then
the tat.
She's been around for a lot longer.
well, I mean that's what I'm
Playing the
saying
long
too.
game.
So I hope they flesh out her backstory as well. Because you saw that. I think it was episode 4. So, when they figure that out and they're just, and Starlight's like, I know Liberty. And then she's just like, okay, and your point is?
Again, she's to your point, is just like, yeah, and you really don't have it all. You think you know me, you have no idea.
Exactly. So I'm really looking forward to them to, fleshing that out and then just seeing, she's a good foil for Homelander. So that's going to be, who's more diabolical?
I think the Deep does something heroic by the end where people go, God damn it, I wanted to hate you till the end. I think he does something this season, and then I think he does something where people are like, oh man, like he's gonna do something.
Nope, sorry. What he did was basically sexual assault. Sorry, you're done.
Well, I can't deal with any more sea life going down. I'm like,
no.
I'm done with that. I'm done with that.
Heart beating. Yeah.
But leave that alone. Leave that alone. I don't think I can handle that. Rip people's faces off. Hey, that's fine, but no, let's not go there anymore.
Hey, we all know we're poking fun at Scientology with this church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The collective or whatever it is, or
Church of the Collective.
Mm-hmm.
I like it how he goes up to Maeve and say, "Oh, you can join." Oh, heck no.
You want to read this? You want to coffee? Yeah.
No.
What about
I
the
liked how
lady?
Stormfront was talking about how it used to be a pure thing and that she was a member of it. So I'm curious to find that. Did she start this thing? Like, what happened?
Pure. Remember that? Pure.
Yeah, exactly.
Started letting everyone in.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah, there's starting to be some cues along those lines that are getting a little more apparent. So
she's not holding it back, and the further on it goes, the more comfortable she gets. It's just kind of, lying.
And she's learned from her years' experience of how to get people on her side. You don't do certain things anymore because of the culture. You change it to a different name. You change the focus. You change it. Again, remember her line. You want your 50 million fans. All I need is 5,000 soldiers.
Yeah, she knows how to form the narrative so it works for her.
She's smart.
So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I like her costume too. I like her costume. It's pretty cool looking. But
I tell you what though, I laughed hard when they were doing it or whatever, and he went to go down there. She just like shoved his face in there. I was like, yeah, I was fucking dying. I was like, wasn't expecting that.
You almost heard like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, almost looked like he couldn't breathe. I was like, damn. This show is not for children. If you haven't found out by now, guys, there's no children.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get it. I don't think we're gonna get Greg asking like you did with Harley Quinn. I think this is gonna be a show.
Daughter's not watching.
This is an absolutely not. Yes. I tell my kids, I'm watching. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm watching a show you cannot watch.
So my 3-year-old and I shouldn't have been watching it together today. Damn it! No, I was kidding.
He would understand. I did want to ask. Y'all may have talked about it when I stepped away for a minute. Did y'all talk about the Huey and Lenny thing?
No, we actually didn't talk much about that outside of
Butcher or any of that.
Yeah. That was pretty interesting to me, and it gives some good background to why with Huey, and so I don't know what all that's going to lead to in the future because Butcher doesn't know that he knows that right now, correct?
No,
correct.
Because she even said he'd get mad if he told me, but fuck Butcher, so she tells him anyway. I thought that was pretty interesting. I would have. I did. Did you know that, Chris, going in? Anything about that, or is that? I know you said you read the comic.
It's been a while, so again, it's. I
might have been a small detail.
I'm trying not to reread it while watching the show, just to kind of enjoy it, and not be that certain things like Stormfront. I know way too much about Stormfront to not remember that, but it could be. It's not in my memory.
Okay. So maybe it's a detail that is added for the show, or maybe just something not that important in the actual comic.
Very much could be, but again, with the show, they're just taking cues a lot of times and changing, like the whole mother's milk story from the last episode. That I know was told to Huey, and so there are definitely more details that are not there yet.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy, and you see Huey's face whenever he finds it out because the what's his name? The main character, Butcher, being in the position he's in where you finally get to see your wife for so long, and she's basically, I don't think she rejected him. She just thought that he was going to reject the son, right?
He was going to reject him,
right? But she still was right with him, but just not under those circumstances. So I'm interested to see, because now at the end of this episode he says he's definitely not giving up, which would be cool because you get to see Terror. And I liked it whenever he's with the dog and he ends on the toy. He's like, he goes, fuck it. That's my boy. Like, I love that. That was pretty cool. Cute dog, too. But yeah, y'all got anything else you want to point out about The Boys? Episode 5, we got... I think the episodes are dropping like late Thursday night now, because I could have watched
12 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
Okay, I think it dropped a little even earlier past that. I want to say around 11:30 these days.
Okay, good deal. Well, I might try to stay up to watch it next week because I'm off on Friday, so that way I can spoil it for all of y'all Friday morning. And I would do that unless you asked me to. Nathan wouldn't care. But tell me about it.
Unless you're someone like Travis Hines, like dropping those little subtle spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it ruined the whole show.
It ruined it for me. How dare you?
I've apologized 8 times.
I know.
8 times.
No. When we get to 10.
That's right. Then we'll talk.
I get a free coffee.
That's right.
We get a free coffee. We got a punch card.
All right, cool. Well, I guess let's just go ahead and wrap things up. Before we get going, I do want to say the Lakers are beating the ever-living crap out of the Nuggets right now. 21 points, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Go Lakers. But
and LeBron missed out on the MVP.
He wasn't even in the running. He wasn't trying for the MVP. He's won championships. He's not worried about MVPs. He's already won 4 of those. He wants championships.
Nathan must do to you what Homelander wanted to do to the people.
We haven't had a sports segment yet. We had to have a little bit of sports.
I watched him stare at you when you stared at the Stockholm of Sports. He was staring into your soul.
I felt it a little bit.
Yeah.
Hard to breathe.
Whatever.
But,
Laser.
Well, cool. Let's go ahead and get out of here then. Nathan, where can they find you at, buddy?
Currently nowhere except for on these podcasts.
Right.
You can find me here on Friday nights. You can find me on the sexiest of weeklies on Thursday for Star Wars Alliance every other week. And other than that, right now nowhere because damn, it is. I'm a lot happier without just seeing constant bullshit and nonsense.
Have you done the Mandalorian trailer yet? Because I haven't had to listen to a podcast since Monday. So
we did not. It came out. It came literally we recorded it, and then the next day it came out. So it's not on the new episode, and that's why I talked about it here. But we will talk about it more because Katie hasn't got a chance to talk about it.
Okay.
All right, and if you need to get a hold of Nathan, just let me know. I'll give you his number, and
they don't give a shit.
Blow it up. So.
I'm sure I've been canceled by half the people that like me anyway for Star Wars. And whatever. It's fine. Just double cancel me. I canceled myself, so F all of you guys. How about that?
Sarah, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at MyLittleKitten. Pop up every now and again. I'll put my 2 cents worth in every now and again. I mean, you'll see me say more stuff about, Star Trek and James Bond, but, other than that, I'm around. And, of course, you can catch me here. Sometimes you can catch me talking to my Panthers, but that's not really much to say right now, so.
Didn't some big James Bond news just drop today?
It's only one site that's reporting on something that we
it's
can't
iffy.
really confirm.
Okay.
We're playing really loose and hard with terms.
Yeah.
Let me hear this
news drops.
I heard something about Tom Hardy,
is
right?
The next Bond.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Who?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of speculation.
He's been fan cast a lot as one of the top choices.
And you know what? Armie Hammer's the next Batman. So
as long as he walks in and says, "Yes, 007." He does his Bane voice for it. I am all in.
He should be forced through that voice in every role he plays now.
No, don't even do that. Let's do a mix of that and Venom.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be a wicked mix.
Livers.
I wouldn't mind.
He goes into the whole spiel. Liver, spleens, bombs. He's gonna give us all of it.
Oh, that's right. Chris,
I was born in the darkness.
I am the darkness.
Shit.
Chris, where can they find you, bud?
You can find me on Twitter at Chris Balga. We've got World's Finest True Believers at Finest Believers, Marvel 8 Podcast. This Monday for World's Finest, we will be dropping a new episode with our good buddy from DC On Screen, Jason Goss, looking at Superman Red Sun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Go check that one out. T-Bone.
Yeah.
Find you, brother.
Yeah.
Where can they find me? They can find me on Twitter at Travis_156. You can drop me a line. We can chat about pretty much anything. I do DC Alliance with Greg and superhero discussions with Greg.
Yeah.
I do everything with Greg, basically.
Then we get done. We play 2K after we record.
Phrasing.
Mm-hmm.
Phrasing, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Chris. We're planning on knocking out Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons at some point this weekend, hopefully. So that'll be on a little bit extra. You'll probably get 2 episodes of superhero discussions on Friday.
Okay, one might be exclusive though, right?
No, we're giving them both to everyone.
Oh, I hear you. We're feeling giving. I got you.
Just
Good deal. Good deal.
Doubling up on it.
We'll probably, actually, Greg, what we'll do is we'll drop the movie review a week early for the patrons, and then release it to everyone after that.
Look, guys, you're getting behind the scenes here.
That's right. This is how we do all business deals, just like this.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, you can find me at the BatDaddy52 on Twitter. Like Travis says, we're talking about stuff all week long, Tuesdays, Fridays, now Saturdays, if you're listening to the show on Saturday mornings. Sunday, we're doing a watch. We're doing it live on YouTube, I believe. A watch along of Secret Garden.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Princess Bride.
We'll do it live.
Simmer down, Bill Riley. Simmer down.
Yeah, he caught it.
We're doing a live a live first time watch for me of Princess Bride. I'm not sure who all here is going to be involved in that, but I know there's going to be a lot of people involved, or a few people at least involved in it. Check us out. I believe it'll be on the Geekverse feed, and then you can also find me. Sunday's going to be busy for me Sunday. I got the C3 Panthers post-game show at 4 o'clock. I got the Princess Bride review at 7:30, and then after that, we're doing Knights and Dragons or Superman the Animated Series, whichever.
Or we're going to put it to Monday if Greg has to overcome with all the things he does before that.
That's a lot of podcasting after a Panthers loss. I'm just saying. So I'm already predicting the Panthers loss, but yeah, you can find me a lot of different places. But check out Geek Ultimate Alliance. You can find all these shows, all these hosts. We're all doing all kinds of things, 7 days a week. 8 different shows right now, hopefully more in the future. Check out our Patreon, give us a like, a review, tell a friend, download, all that good stuff we need to keep growing, to give you more information.
Keep our candles flickering.
That's right, keep our candles flickering. That's going to be our thing, as Travis likes to say. So
Make sure to support Nathan in his cutting of tea.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you freeze your tea before you cut it.
Tea pops. But, all right, y'all. Well, until next week, keep pounding.
And thus ended the 5th book. Oh.
Later, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Hey, Heinz.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I'm leaving it streaming so we can see everybody can see that reaction.
I went to both comic book places here, and neither